We'll be starting shortly.
With the invention of money is next. Technology is growing and securities are digital. 9 out of 10 millennials.
%10 of the world's economy will be in crypto-based assets. Today, 1 billion people have access to the financial industry. Crypto is about empowering the other 6 billion people by banking the unbanked. Do not underestimate this. Do you wish you invested in Google, Amazon, or Netflix before anyone ever knew about them? $1,000 invested in Netflix turned to over $500,000. At Token Metrics, we help you find the next Netflix. Token Metrics users think differently about investing. They are early adopters looking for financial freedom. They are people who see a better world, a world without international borders. We believe in a world where everyone has access to the next financial revolution. At Token Metrics, we are creating a bridge that gets you to that revolution. We will help you make sound investments in this new world. The world's best investors do not rely on their intuition. They embrace technology and AI to invest. Token Metrics uses AI to find invisible patterns in data to help you invest and trade in crypto. In the past, we have used our data-driven system to achieve financial freedom. Now, we are giving you the keys. We created Token Metrics to be the only platform you'll ever need to make money in crypto. We give you AI and access to crypto experts at the best price. The moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond. All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you for joining us here on the Token Metrics live show. Hope you guys like the new intro. Apologies with the technical issues on that. Obviously, everything is live. But hey, Bill, how are you?
Ian, hi. Thanks for having me on the show.
Great. Hey, Dragon Ball Crypto, what's up? King Nick in the house. Eric, how are you doing today? Hope everyone is having a great week. As the title of today's live stream goes, why crypto has turned bullish, and is the bull market finally here? Bill will give us his expert analysis. We'll also show you what Token Metrics thinks, and it's very interesting. So stay tuned, and we have lots of big announcements today as well. So it's going to be a great show. All right, let's open up our presentation here. So Bill, what's your take on the market as I pull up the presentation?
All right, well, my take is that this is the real deal. Okay, and here's why. It's very simple, is that few people understand why it's really happening. Okay, now I'm just one person, but I think I do. And by the time everyone figures it out, all right, it's going to be a lot higher.
That's good news. That's good news. That's music to our ears. All right. So as usual, this is not investment advice. Please pause and read the disclaimers. So on today's agenda, so thank you to everybody who's on the show. Average Joe. Yes, we did look at liquid dApps. So stay tuned. We'll go through and show you the official rating based on Token Metrics. Our team has gone through and scored the technology and the fundamentals. Great week, great news. Yes, Eric, great week, great news. All right, we'll go through and talk about intros. And for those who have been following us since Wednesday, yes, we have officially launched the Token Metrics Astronaut Affiliate Program. So I definitely encourage you to go and sign up. Then we'll cover the real reason for why crypto is rallying. I think this is very, very interesting, so stay tuned for that. Then we'll go through, as usual, crypto therapy, doing TA on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and any altcoins you guys would like us to take a look at. And then, as usual, we'll give you our top 10 cryptos for the week based on token metrics. So based on doing in-depth analysis on the fundamentals, the technology, and TA. And we'll give away a discount to people who want to join token metrics. All right, let's hop into it. So Bill, tell us about yourself.
All right. So I got to be careful with the word, but I'm sort of been the master of disaster from my career. Whenever anybody, whenever markets go wild in equities and currencies in the past, so for Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley and these types, I would work with them and do TA and help their traders figure out how to navigate, you know, some of the tougher markets, right? I did it at a small startup. That's how I got going. They were bought by Morningstar. Then it was Morgan Stanley and Goldman. And then I did it for the retail investor at Schwab. And then I just couldn't resist. I got on the crypto train with Charlie Shrem, and then here I am with Ian. And really my life's mission has been to use charts to help people make money. So this is a great place to do it.
All right, that's great. Thank you, Bill. Okay, so I'm up next. I'm Ian Bellina, founder of Token Metrics, which is a crypto investment research platform that brings together human experts like Bill, myself, Paresh, and others, people from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, IBM, bringing our core expertise in the investing space and adding analytics and machine learning to help people or help crypto investors find profitable investments and filter out the scams. So making you a much smarter investor. I'm also a partner at 100x Advisors, which is a blockchain investment and advisory company. And prior to that, I was working at IBM and also at Deloitte Consulting. All right, so as mentioned, we have officially launched the Token Metrics affiliate program. So I want everybody, if you are watching this right now, to make sure you sign up, because we're giving away something that's unheard of in the crypto space. We're giving away 20% lifetime recurring commissions. What does that mean? That means whenever you refer somebody to Token Metrics and they end up subscribing as a paying member, you earn 20% of any money we make on that. So whether that person is paying us monthly or they're subscribed to the annual plan, you get 20% of that until that person stops paying. So for the rest of that person's life. So this is something much more attractive than any affiliate program we've seen out there in the space. We know Coinbase and some of the exchanges only give you like either anywhere from 10 to $100 and that's it. We pay you for the rest of your life. So for example, we have the professional plan, which costs $2,400 per year. So if you refer somebody and that person you referred signs up for that, you earn up to $480 on that. That's 20%. So each year you would earn $480. So this can be very, very profitable. And in only 3 days, we have over 100 people have signed up for the affiliate program. So thank you for everybody who's signed up thus far. That's definitely great support. We're very excited and also very excited to have our community join us in taking crypto mainstream and crypto to the moon. And we also do have a 2% sub-affiliate lifetime recurring commission, meaning that everybody you refer, if they refer somebody else, you also earn 2% on that. So this can be very highly profitable. Sign up today by going to partners.tokenmetrics.com. That's partners.tokenmetrics.com. So actually, I think I can pull up the dashboard here. This is the dashboard for the affiliate program. So everything is being tracked. If you have any questions, we have a very short video walking you through how to use the dashboard and also different guides in terms of how to start, how to get paid, how to track referrals, and most important of all, making sure you're making proper disclosures and following all the requirements from the Federal Trade Commission, which is the FTC. So meaning that anytime you invite somebody to the affiliate program, they have to know that you could possibly earn a commission. So just having total transparency. We're trying to make sure everything is being done by the book and making sure it's a win-win for everybody. And anybody you refer to the program, they also get an additional 10% discount. So any of your friends can get a 10% discount by using your link or your code. Very quickly, people have been asking how to get the links. Just go to assets here and just copy this link here, right? So this is my link. Obviously, I don't need this link because I'm a founder of Token Metrics, but this would just be your handle. So this, for example, for me is Ian Bellina 1, but this would just be whatever name you pick. You have the option of customizing this here if you want to change your code to something else. And we also have some default assets for you to share. So if you want to just simply find something to post on Twitter, just get this, click tweet. We've added the hashtag Token Metrics Partner. We recommend you keep that to make sure you're following the guidelines from the FTC. But this can be posted on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Instagram, any other platforms you have. We also have some graphics as well, some banners if you want to put on your website, your blog, some different guides, a bunch of different assets to make sure that you're maximizing and possibly making a ton of money from the program. All right, with that being said, back to the show. Okay, so head over to menti.com. That's MENTI.com and use the code 9475. That's 94705, 94705, and put in your question. Your response to the question of the day. So the first question of the day is, what's your Bitcoin price target for 2020? This was a very exciting question. I think it will tell us the overall sentiment with our audience and also with the market. What do you think Bitcoin is going in 2020? Do you think it's going to $5,000, to $10,000, $15,000, to $25,000, or to $50,000? All these prices are in US dollar price. So let us know what you guys think. With that being said, let me hand off to Bill. Bill, what's your price target for Bitcoin?
Well, I don't want to ruin it for the audience, but I think it's 25K.
25K, okay.
Because remember, we got an election in November.
So you think the election is going to have a huge impact or some kind of impact?
Right. I think the election is the crypto issue. That's why it seems mysterious to people now. Right. In other words, in 2016, like here it is in a nutshell. In 2016, nobody thought Donald Trump was going to get elected. You can watch videos of talk show hosts like laughing at the whole idea. This time, I think it's Bernie Sanders, right? Crypto took off. It took off the first time on unrest overseas, and it took off the second time right after the Democratic debate, the Democratic candidate debate. And with the type of cryptos that rallied, okay, it's indicative that crypto is the hot investment for the year, and people have got to get money tucked away in a digital asset, right? Because these guys on the left, they have a different attitude about wealth and taxation. So people have to get diversified right now. And I think the smart money is pouring in.
Okay, very, very good. Actually, I've just pulled here the polls. Let me share my screen. So I think definitely tracking the presidential elections is something any smart investor should do, because this can impact the economy, which can impact Bitcoin and crypto. So this is a poll from RearClearPolitics.com. This is the 2020 Democratic presidential nomination poll. This is from, what is the company? Anyway, I think from Survey USA. I'm not sure. But anyway, here looking at this is kind of like the polling average. So Biden is in first place at 28%, then Sanders 20%, then Warren 14%. Okay, so you think possibly Sanders can keep on rising, and you think that will greatly impact Bitcoin?
Right. I think Sanders plus Warren, even though they were squabbling at the debate, I think was a publicity stunt. Sanders plus Warren is 34%.
Okay. So this is
Okay.
looking at the last 6 months. Let's do the last 14 days. Okay. So I haven't been following the news that much this week, but I did hear that Warren came after Sanders on the debate and on something about sexism, but she ended up her polls tanked after that or dipped after that. So people didn't really respond well to that. I'm seeing here she was at 16. Now she's down to 14. Okay. Very interesting.
Right. It just strikes me that as soon as the headlines came out about Bernie that were positive, Monero, Litecoin, the whole underneath part of the market just exploded.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, this is not a coincidence.
Yeah. And then candidates are beginning to drop out. Cory Booker dropped out as well. He was polling at a measly 1%, but he's now out of the campaign. And yeah, I think definitely very exciting times. My kind of take in terms of the Bitcoin price target, I don't really have a price target, not really in the business of predictions anymore, because obviously no one is ever right. But if I had to just say, not based on any data, just kind of based on, I think the big events coming, I think the halving, the Bitcoin halving, Ethereum 2.0, those are major events in the first half of the year to watch out for. Second half, I think definitely the presidential election and kind of seeing how that really impacts things. And then America recently signed the first phase of the trade war agreement with China, correct? Right? They kind of have now this trade.
Right. We have like a trade peace treaty of sorts.
Peace treaty. So do you think that's also impacting equities? How do equities stack up as of late?
Well, I mean, equities are doing their thing. Google was up a lot. So if a big stock like Google is up a lot, it's going to help take the market higher.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the equity market, it has a history of not considering alternative outcomes until it's right upon them, right? Like the equity market had no idea Trump was going to win until he actually did. And then they had to reprice the whole thing higher.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're right. When it comes to stock market predictions and even Bitcoin price targets, there are no experts and no one's ever right. I just think that the statement has been made in early January that if you want to make a return, crypto is a place to be, and it could be the place to be.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Once again, everybody, the Menti code is 9475. 94705. Make sure to make your voices heard. So the question of the day is, what's your BTC price target for 2020? So so far, most people are saying it's 25,000. And then we have some people saying 15,000. I think that sounds conservative. I feel like we've been in this downtrend for a while, and I think we're due to test 20K or more, because otherwise we're in for a rough year. If Bitcoin is still below the all-time high, that I wouldn't really call it a good year for crypto. Anybody with any thoughts on that? Hey, what's up, James? Thanks for joining. Peter in the house. Sufyan. Hey, what's up? Icon. We'll cover Icon. If you have any questions, go to menti.com and we'll answer questions towards the AMA. Okay, so here, let me just quickly post the code so people don't keep asking. Okay, all right, so moving on here. The real reason for the crypto rally. So we talked about Bernie Sanders, Novogratz.
Okay.
Tell us about Novogratz.
All right, so Novogratz came out with a tweet. Okay, let me see if I can share, if I have it.
Okay.
Okay, so while I'm pulling this up, Novogratz came out with a tweet. Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so it says, I'm not sure I understand the altcoin rally. So when Novogratz refers to an altcoin, he's talking about anything other than Bitcoin. So it's Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum. Happy for those making money on it, but not sure what's changed. Maybe new year, new money, new enthusiasm. And get this, dinner in New York for the best explanation. Now, let me tell you something. If Mike knew why Bitcoin was going up, he'd be sequestered in a room with his head trader, draining as much of it out of the market as he could, or Bitcoin or crypto, any asset class. Right? When he puts out something like that, he's kind of doing like a sentiment survey, and he's also trying to figure out what's happening. Now, it's not always easy to figure out. You know, I've generally done well when things get crazy, so I'm not afraid to take a guess, although that's just what it is. It's a best judgment based on data, but I think it's simple. If it's not showing up on the computer dashboard of Mike Novogratz, then it's got to be something unusual. And the most unusual thing I can think of is some sort of pre-election Bernie Sanders, and I need to have money in crypto, right? Because that doesn't show up in anybody's models of any kind. So if Mike is taking to Twitter, okay, you know, or maybe Mike was just having fun, but, you know, it struck me that tweet would come along with the power of the rally, you know, with like Dash and Zcash doing 3X, right? Like if I told you in December, Dash and Zcash were going to go 3X, you'd shut the show off and go watch football, right? So, you know, that's why I like to do my 2020 preview in January, right? Because
so actually we Token Metrics did have Dash in its top 10 index. So Dash has done very well this month. So congrats to anybody who's made a killing on Dash. It's up 2x this month. So I think it's
right. So Dash and Zcash, right? It's really unbelievable if you look at the picture. Dash and Zcash in particular, they were both in the Token Metrics top 5, you know, for a couple of months, right? You know, Zcash goes from 25 to 60, takes out this hugely important point at 53, you know, and it's kind of wait and see, because if it goes back above 53, this can continue. But this type of a move, you know, when you're going vertical like this, there's a catalyst behind that, right? Zcash is not some miniature altcoin, neither is Dash, right? So, you know, even things, even projects that may be a little bit disappointing, like EOS, okay? EOS also went vertical, okay? You know, the other thing I wanted to show is, you know, if you talk about FOMO, okay? So this is the Token Metrics portfolio allocation. And here's what I did. I said, all right, I'm going to FOMO in on the 10th of this month. So on January 10th, I put, you know, a roughly $8,000 in Bitcoin. So that's kind of like large cap stocks. And I put roughly $8,000 in Ethereum. That's kind of like tech stocks, right? I put, you know, roughly $8,000 in Litecoin. That's like your small cap stocks, right? I put, you know, roughly $8,000 in Bitcoin Cash. That's like, you know, mysterious international stocks. Like, you know, what is that? Right. And then I have this chunk down here where I've just got my alternative investments, right? My outside the box, you know, EOS, ZRX, XLM. Okay. Conveniently, all things found on Coinbase. So when the American investor FOMOs into crypto, this is the grouping that it'll pick. Okay. Now, most people would have devoted a larger chunk to Bitcoin, but what I actually did with the experiment was I just said, okay, let's pretend I'm new, because Coinbase gives you this option to just put, you know, invest money in all these coins, right? They have push button. Okay. Since July 10th or January 10th or 11th, somewhere in that area, the portfolio is up $8,000, even with the correction, I believe, last night. So what's my point? Well, my point is this. If you can open up a Coinbase account, okay, and drop some money in and make 15, 20% in 2 weeks, is that going to make you want to do more or less crypto investing? a lot more. Okay. So, Mike said, congrats on those that caught the rally. The people who caught the rally are going to be coming in with both hands, particularly in this situation. Just briefly, you notice how you had this euphoric new high above 9,000 and then this kind of nasty dip that they have going on right now. Ethereum hit right at 180 at the top of this channel. This is how big bull markets work. They go up, up, up. They suck everybody in. Everybody gets euphoric, right? Wasn't it Saturday night, 9,100, right? Everybody out to the bar. And by the time you're done, it's at 8,400. Very typical. It's exactly how it happens. Everybody FOMOs in. They wash out, they wash out a certain select group of people that didn't locate their trade right. And then if it holds, it turns around and goes up. And the thing is, the scarier the dip, like the more you go, oh, Jesus, I don't know if I can do this, right? The scarier it is, the bigger the ensuing reversal. So even the downward price action in this market, I think, is constructive.
Yeah. Now to add to that, so I think one of the big wins last week for Token Metrics was on that Bitcoin rally, because Token Metrics was bullish a few weeks before. So the last 1 or 2 weeks, it was basically bullish, saying accumulate Bitcoin. But as soon as the rally began happening and Bitcoin went to 8,400 and tested 9,000, I believe, Token Metrics was saying neutral, basically hold. And lots of people were telling us, hey, this is wrong. This is wrong. Bitcoin is going up. Bitcoin is going up. And I told them, no, I don't think it's wrong. And then just like textbook, Bitcoin pulled back down. And they're like, wow, Token Metrics actually called it. And I think people really have to kind of understand how the system works. It's not meant to tell you to buy or that it's bullish when the price is going up, because a smart investor will accumulate beforehand. And then as it's going up, that's when you don't buy anymore, or that's when you start taking some profits after it starts hitting particular price targets. So I think all the users on the platform should definitely readjust how they view investing, because Token Metrics isn't really built to tell you to buy when it's going up, because that means it's too late. It's meant to give you the research and the data and the analysis you need before the run up, before the rally, so that you can accumulate beforehand. And I think it's definitely been doing a good job on that. We have been experiencing some issues with the price predictions, which our team is working on, because everything's been happening so fast. The models have been running every 24 hours, and we plan to tweak them to start running every 3 hours. So that way, whenever there's a big spike up or down, we can capture those movements and have a lot more data. So bear with us. We hope to have that resolved by this month. But I think, so far so good, especially with Dash. Dash has performed well. We have Matic in there. Bill is displaying the screen right now. We have some new coins in the top 10. We have Maker. Cosmos has jumped up. Cosmos was recently listed on Coinbase, I believe. Decred, a popular coin. I know Bill definitely likes that coin. And Blockstack is in there as well.
Right. In other words, it's very telling. One of the things about Token Metrics is that, as Ian said, it's really interesting that things that pop into the top 10 have a way of rallying. And then once the huge rally has occurred, they can drop back down and other coins can pop in, like Matic, right? So maybe Bitcoin has to consolidate for a week or so, and that gives the Cosmos and the Matic some room to go higher. It's also worth noting that, there's all kinds of data here. I was recently in the portfolio section. We've gotten some emails with clients telling us they can spend up to like 4 and 5 hours at a time researching things on the Token Metrics site. So one of the things I try to do in cryptotherapy and with my TA is I try to mix in things that I've learned using the Token Metrics site, because we're all doing the same thing. We're all learning from the data that Token Metrics provides, right? So, good astronauts are going to keep an eye on their dashboard on their screen. And, this is our astronauts dashboard along with, basic charts.
Right. All right. Well said. Okay. But back to the question of the day. Let me okay, hold on. Just bear with me. Okay, so the winner. So in terms of the price target for Bitcoin, most people think Bitcoin is going to $25,000. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. I think that's a lot more reasonable. So here, just kind of sharing the screen. So we had most people think Bitcoin is going to 25,000. What's your take on that? You think that's modest? That's the same answer you had as well, right, Bill?
Right. That would be my answer. My answer would be they would actually do it before the election. It'll be like buy the rumor or buy the fear and then sell the fact.
Yeah. Buy the rumors, sell the news. Okay. Next question. Which crypto would you sell and not buy again? Once again, which crypto would you sell and never look back? In other words, you're done with it. So the options are Matic, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is definitely last. So is Ethereum. So I think it's between Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Matic. So me personally, I would say Litecoin. Litecoin, I would sell that and never look back. Litecoin hasn't scored so well on Token Metric, even though it's top 4 in market cap, or it's been in top 5. Fundamental grade is decent, but the technology grade isn't really that innovative. Paresh, our developer, has looked at it. He said it's not really that innovative, that they don't really update their code much compared to other projects. And overall, just based off of that, to me, I would only be in Litecoin as a swing trade. Nothing really long term. So Matic Network, that one I would definitely hodl. That's why it's right now it's ranked 3rd on our Token Metrics Moon Index. Fundamentals have actually improved. Technology grade as well. So I mean, Matic is still a sleeper. So if we go to our Moon Index, so Matic has been doing very well, especially with this market cap of 88. So we think the potential for upside is huge versus any other altcoin. Also, Cosmos, Blockstack as well. Maker has moved up to the top 10, now in fifth place. Now, yes, the scores have decreased, but that's mainly because the time to accumulate was a while back. So a very famous quote from Warren Buffett is, you don't want to buy investments when they're popular. You want to get in and buy when nobody is buying. So now that Bitcoin is rallying and crypto is rallying, now really isn't the time to buy, because the time to buy was a few weeks back, or even the last few months. That was the time to really accumulate, because getting in now is really just chasing and buying the top. And that's how you get wrecked. That's how you lose money. And rule number 1 of investing is don't lose money. And rule number 2 is don't forget rule number 1, don't lose money. So that's why, even though you may see lots of green days in crypto, Token Metrics may have it as neutral or bearish, because it's telling you that you aren't supposed to buy when things are popular. So I know lots of traders, lots of professional traders who say that when they look to buy, they look to buy on red days, on red candles, as opposed to green candles. If you do plan to buy on a green candle, you have to be very specific with it and make sure you know what you're doing and you're doing very substantial analysis or technical analysis. That's why we have experts like Bill here. Anything to add on that, Bill?
Well, there's been sort of a theme in crypto for the last 2 years, really, that every time you've tried to FOMO into a rally, you get hurt. And it's not just that you lose money, it's that your head gets twisted around, right? So like, for example, Matic is down a lot. So and this is all generated by a computer, folks. So the computer is pretty smart. The computer wants you to be a mentally healthy trader by saying, okay, if you like Matic, you know, the markets run up, take a look at Matic, Cosmos, Decred, you know, some of this stuff that's dipped, it might be a good time to look at it. All right. Because keeping your head, losing money makes it hard to keep your head clear. And really, if the best thing I can tell you is not where Bitcoin's going to be at the end of the year, the best thing I can tell you is use this data and information and any analysis you get from us to stay sane, to keep your head clear. Okay. Because that's where the big money is made, where you can step in and go, oh yeah, now's the time. If your head's clear, you can buy on a red candle day without being afraid. The reason people buy on green is because it reduces the fear, but it also increases the risk of getting wrecked.
Yeah.
Net, you know, we can help give you technology that can keep your emotions balanced, right? So automated crypto therapy.
Well said. So looking at Matic here at the performance metrics, so it's up 28% month to date. So not too bad. Bitcoin is up 26%. So slightly better off holding Matic. But I think this is definitely going to improve. All right. So back to the question. Wow. People would sell Matic first and never look back. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, now I see it's tied with Bitcoin Cash. So if we take a look at Bitcoin Cash, BCH here. So Bitcoin Cash, fundamentals are pretty good. Technology is not so good. Right now we're bearish overall. Technical analysis grade is not really quite there. Okay, I mean, I personally would sell Bitcoin Cash before I sell Matic. Okay, I think, all right, so we kind of covered the top 10 rankings. So before Bill heads out, if you want to join Tokenmetrics, be sure to sign up. We have free trials available, 14-day free trial, plus the 30-day money-back guarantee. And we've also posted a new short video that really kind of shows you what our vision is for Tokenmetrics, why we created it. I definitely recommend you go and watch the video. We had the video in the beginning of the show, but go and make sure you watch it again, because we think this really shows the message of what we're doing. And be sure to sign up for your free trial today using the code CryptoFamily. That's all caps, one word, CryptoFamily, to get 10% off of Tokenmetrics. And be sure to join our affiliate program at partners.tokenmetrics.com and have a chance to earn 20% lifetime recurring commissions on anybody you refer to Tokenmetrics. So we want to have all the astronauts out there. So we're calling all astronauts to join us for the astronaut affiliate program. We think this is going to be one of the best affiliate programs out there in crypto. And we think we've also made a very good video to really show you guys what crypto is about. So be sure to also share this with your friends who want to join. All right, with that being said, Bill, any last words?
All right, well, think like an astronaut, you know, check your data, check your dashboard, you know, and make sure your oxygen mask is on. All right. So if you can keep your head clear, you can make good decisions. Ian, thanks for having me on the show. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Bill. Take care. Bye.
We just landed on the moon in a Lambo. Taking pictures with the zoom and the angle. We'll be coming back to you with the same pulse.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining. This is the second segment of the show. Now it's time for the AMA. So once again, go to menti.com, MENTI.com, and use the code 9470 and 5. Send all your questions, and I'll go through and answer all those questions. Okay, let me just quickly go through the chat here and see what people are saying. Okay, fundamentals aren't determined by computer. Matic fundamentals equal 10%. You need to update that. Not sure where you're getting the 10% from, Jesse. Kenneth, crypto market cap needs to get to 400 billion to start the next bull run. That's fair. Vincent says, I wonder what Tokenmetrics says about Yuan next week. We'll go through that. Just make sure it's on the AMA submission. Ripple sells XRP every month. It's long term. Yeah, Ripple does do that. So it's very hard for Ripple to really do much. That's why whenever it does pump, it's pretty random. Okay. Sell wife and kids, keep the dog. I would advise against that a lot. HODL everyone, crypto is here to stay. Absolutely thinking crypto, HODL, but HODL wisely and smartly. That's why we have Tokenmetrics. What's your take on Chinese New Year? Maybe sell off? I'm not sure. I mean, in my experience, it's been very tough to predict what happens in Chinese New Year. So not really sure what's going to happen. All I can say is really just use what we have in Tokenmetrics, right? So if we, okay, let's go through this, right? So let me go back to my earlier. So looking at the top 10 ranked coins on Tokenmetrics, we call this the Tokenmetrics Moon Index. This is what we think is probably one of the most accurate, well, not really, well, okay. I would say we think this is one of the better indexes out there when it comes to crypto, because everything is based on the ratings. It's not just based on market cap or price or what have you. We're going through and doing our in-depth analysis on the coins, and we're picking the best coins that if we had to pick 10 coins to put money in ourselves right now, we're doing that with this. And this is updating in real time. So every day, every week, you have different coins. It's musical chairs, but we think this is how you always have the best coins at the right time. So going through this, we have Bitcoin number 1. We have Ethereum number 2. Matic Network number 3. Cosmos number 4. Cosmos has jumped up back into the top 10. Maker number 5. Dash number 6. Dash has gone down slightly. 7. Decred. Decred has jumped into the top 10. So now it's on the watch list. Binance has slipped to number 8. Blockstack is number 9. Market cap of only 244. So if you're looking for a low cap coin, keep an eye out on Blockstack for sure. And then Eternity, number 10. So I mentioned earlier, one of the big wins of this month was Dash. Let's pull up Dash here. So Dash has been, has been phenomenal. So going to the performance metrics for Dash, month to date, so it's up 157%. So it has decreased, but versus Bitcoin, man, and versus Bitcoin, it's really done a lot better, right? So you were better off holding Dash this month. Now let's go to the technical analysis on Dash. So right now it's neutral, but if we go to the candlesticks, let's go to, really, it's just been going boom, nothing but green. So guys, when something is going up, you shouldn't really be buying here, guys. That's how you get wrecked. When it's down here, that's really the ideal time to buy. But it's very counterintuitive, especially for humans. And I definitely do understand how humans feel, because I'm a human as well. It's very tough buy something when it's going down. But technically, and being a smart investor, that's usually the best time to buy. And when it gets here, that's when it's ideal to sell. So now that we have this rally and crypto can possibly keep going up, you have lots of people coming in, some of them newbies, but some of them even professionals who've been in this for a while, looking to buy and chase and market buy and chase the FOMO and the hype. But we definitely advise against that. Obviously, we're not official investment advisors, so we can't tell you what to do. But for us ourselves, you don't really want to be buying when it's going up. So that's why when something is neutral or even bearish, when it's going up, it's really telling you to hold your horses or to start taking profits, take out your initial. I mean, for example, Dash was going up a lot in the last month or so, but the time to accumulate Dash isn't right now. It was a while back. But however, I mean, if you're looking to, that's kind of more for traders. If you're looking to build a balanced portfolio, meaning that if you have to build a portfolio and you want to diversify your portfolio and have 10 cryptocurrencies in that, then Dash would be the 6th in that basket of cryptocurrencies you have. And we think this is a very, very well done basket because having Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Cosmos, Maker, Dash, Decred, Binance, Blockstack, and Eternity, we think this portfolio is conservative. All the coins in there are good coins, good solid coins that you could possibly hold long term. Because look at the fundamental grades for all these: 93, 90, 83, 81, 81, 84, and even the technology grades, right? So we think these are solid projects. And the technical analysis is basically saying that now is a good time to get in. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Tell us what you guys currently have in your portfolio on Token Metrics, and let's get to the AMA. Okay, let me just quickly go through the questions here and see what we have here. Okay, all right. So first question, all 2018 Moon infrastructure projects are dead. ADA, ICX, Swan, Zilliqa, Ontology, CorrectChain, MTV, which is Multivac. Well, I would say a lot of them are dead, but not all of them. I mean, so if we go to Token Metrics, let's put in those projects you said. ADA. ADA right now is 28th on our Token Metrics rank. Technology is solid. I mean, very, very good. I mean, so I wouldn't really call it dead. Fundamentals decent, could be better. But I would just say now's not really the time. I mean, because you have to have a long-term perspective. If we put in ZIL, 19th on the index, fundamental is slightly better. Technology is good. You mentioned CorrectChain. CorrectChain we don't have yet. What was the other one? One we don't have yet. What was the other one you mentioned? Ontology and Icon. Okay, Ontology. Technology is all right. Could be better by a lot. Fundamental is not so good. And ICX technology is good. Fundamentals could be better. So, I mean, overall, I wouldn't really say they're dead. I mean, the ones that we've officially rated as not good projects, those are dead, we think. But I mean, ADA has good tech. Icon has good tech. ZIL has good tech, right? So those ones, I wouldn't really call them dead, but it's more of a matter of their fundamentals. Can they really execute and do whatever they claim they're going to do? So, but they're not in our Token Metrics Moon Index. So if you're looking for a Moon, we personally don't believe, at least right now, there's a Moon possibility in them until they crack our top 10 index. Okay, going on to the next question. Good question. What is going to be your first big personal purchase in the next massive bull run? Okay. So I haven't really been purchasing cryptocurrencies, as I mentioned before. I've been mining Helium token, right? It's HNT, which isn't trading anywhere yet, but I've just been mining that. That's kind of like my, I guess my big bet, my moonshot, where I'm swinging for the fences, swinging for a home run. I could possibly strike out, but all I did is just pay $500 to buy a hotspot device. So if the tokens end up being worthless, I'm only down $500. That's basically it. But if they end up being worth a lot of money, that could be a home run. So Helium is part of the IEO. Outside of that, I would go onto Tokenmetrics and buy the top 10. So I'll just look at the Moon Index and see what's currently in the top 10. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Cosmos, Maker, and that's really it. I mean, maybe if I wanted to be super picky, I could add a filter and say only show me those with grades over 80 for fundamentals and for technology. So meaning having solid of everything. So we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Cosmos, Maker, Dash, Zcash, and 0x. So all these have grades over 80%. So this is 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So 8. So if I wanted to be even stricter, I would maybe just buy just these 8 projects and just kind of diversify across the portfolio. So that's what I would probably do. So you kind of have some, you obviously have Bitcoin and Ethereum, the market leaders. Then you have some kind of mid caps with if we sort by market cap. Yeah, with Dash, Cosmos, Maker, then some low cap with 0x and Matic. And that's really it. But I would definitely add Blockstack in there, I think. I think Blockstack has some potential. So that's what I would do if I'm going to be buying some more. Okay, all right. Let me take off these filters here. But good question, good question. What was the worst investment you've ever made in the crypto space? Oh man, very easily. Sparkster, EndoHash, Pixio Chain, Lending Block. I mean, basically, yeah, those are the worst ones I've made. But I mean, I think Sparkster definitely takes the cake because I'm Ian Bellina. So when I mess up, I mess up publicly, right? So I don't have the luxury of messing up quietly, unlike other investors. So just based on the publicity around that and how they scammed everybody, I think that was definitely the worst one. Have you heard about the Holochain CEO FUD news roaming around? Looks like they aired her dirty laundry about her bondage sexual life. Yes, I did hear about that. I mean, I think that's definitely distasteful. It's in poor taste. I mean, because what does that have to do with the price? I mean, who cares about somebody's personal life? I mean, I say that as somebody who's been a public figure, because people have always been trying to throw FUD on anything I do. It's like anytime I have good news, the FUD comes out. So I do know they had a recent layoff where they laid off about a third of the team because they're looking to save money and have money for a runway. So as somebody who runs a company and has been running a company and bootstrapping it and financing it myself in a bear market for the last 2 years, I definitely understand. Hey, sometimes you have to make tough decisions as a CEO and founder. So maybe some angry employees or whatever trying to air her dirty laundry. But I mean, I think whoever did that is is distasteful. I mean, they're just a hater because throwing out bad energy in the universe doesn't really return positive vibes back to you or positive energy. So, I mean, I like to keep myself positive. So, I mean, not really going to delve into that. But with that being said, though, I mean, Holochain is a project we have rated pretty well when it comes to fundamentals. Yeah, fundamentals grade is good. Technology not so, could be better. The token metrics rank is 21st, so it's a decent rank. It's in the top 20, but not in the top 10 Moon Index, so wouldn't be in that portfolio at the time. But I mean, I think it's definitely in poor taste that people try to do that. I mean, all I know is whoever did that isn't really doing anything good in their lives. Not to really judge per se, but I mean, in my experience, this is definitely very anecdotal. But people who are doing positive things, especially people who are making money, don't have time for pettiness like that. I mean, if you just made $1 million, 10 million, 100 million, or if you're busy winning, you don't have time to focus on just negative stuff. So just by definition, I think if somebody's focusing on negativity like that, they're not winning in their lives. So that's really a projection of that person themselves over anything else, because winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners. And that's the truth. You can take that to the bank and cash it. All right, next question. Where are the projects for identity? SSI, that's equally important in the space and in general in the next digital age. Good question. So identity, our big bet. So going back to the earlier question somebody also had in terms of what projects could do well, if we go to IEOs, we have, let's see here. Sovereign. Sovereign is one to keep an eye out on. So technology is very good. So we've put out an official report to our team, to our customers. But Sovereign, they're doing identity. So they have partnerships with IBM, Cisco, the US government. So definitely keep this on a watch list. And I think it's really the best identity project we have looked at, much better than Civic. I don't even think Civic is in our system. I think the market cap was very low. Let me take a look. Yes, we don't have Civic in our system. But Sovereign is, if we had to pick a project in that space, Sovereign is that. Now, that does not mean go out and FOMO buy Sovereign the first day's trading. No, guys, please do not do that. I'm tired of reading people in the comments. Like on Instagram the other day, we had I guess a upset follower of mine. I won't call him a hater per se. I'll just say he's upset. And he was really salty because he lost money on Power Ledger and some of the projects. And I said, Power Ledger did a 30x. Like, how do you lose money on a 30x investment? Because I mean, if you're losing money on a 30x investment, I'm not the issue. Okay. The issue is taking profits. Okay. And I mean, I can't really teach you that. Okay. I mean, I can say take out your initial or whatever, but if you're losing money on a 30x, man, you have bigger issues than me. Okay. Because you should be making money on a 30x. Then after kind of asking more questions, it turns out that he bought the top. And I mean, I'm never one to suggest that anybody buys the top. I mean, people knew me for a long time as the ICO guy. And that was for a reason, because my strategy was getting in before it starts trading at a very low price. And that's how we made a 30x investment on Power Ledger. But just because I'm invested in Power Ledger, months later after it's trading, and I've already made my money on it because I got in during the ICO, doesn't mean you just blindly FOMO buy it at 30x and it dips. So, and that's, I mean, I'm definitely not trying to blame that person, because I know that being a public figure, people are always just going to blindly follow sometimes what we do without really doing any research, because they see, oh, these guys got in early, it must be a good project. So with that being said, I think that's the main reason why we added technical analysis score to token metrics, to help people avoid FOMO buying. So when Bitcoin was going up and people, like all the newbies, and were saying, oh my God, now's the time to buy. I was seeing people posting in Telegram just saying they plan to buy now. And I was like, oh my God, I was very scared because these people are going to get wrecked. And textbook Tokenmetrics called it. It said, slow down, neutral. The technical analysis score for Bitcoin has really been on neutral this week, right? And what does neutral mean? Neutral means neither bearish or bullish, waiting for confirmation of a trend reversal. So Tokenmetrics was bullish a week ago, and for the matter, really for the last 2 weeks. So that was the time to get in, not now when it's pumping. And newbies really have to grasp and reverse how they view things, because that's how you avoid losing money. And so when you see Bitcoin at neutral as it's going up, it's not that our system is wrong. It's telling you, don't chase the pump. Otherwise, you'll get wrecked and lose money, because the time to accumulate was a while back. So that's really kind of the take on that, and hope that helps. Okay, next question. If BTC surpasses its all-time high, when would it be the right time to sell? So I think I kind of answered this already with my earlier statements. If it passes all-time high, for me personally, obviously I can't give any customized or tailored investment advice, but for me personally, when it turns bearish, that's really the time to start taking profits, because you want to get in on red candles and sell on green candles. If you just learn that will save you a bunch of money. So that's basically buying low, selling high, literally, in the candlestick version. But you don't want to be buying high and selling low. So if you're buying on green days and selling on red days, you're really buying high and selling low. So with Bitcoin, I mean, right now it's neutral. So right now, you should have been accumulating your position and just ride it out. Just ride the wave, ride that roller coaster. And I think once it turns, I mean, it depends. If you're doing a swing trade, then once it goes bearish, yes. But if you're just doing a balanced portfolio, so you would just really just hold that until it veers off the allocation for your portfolio. So let me see if I can pull up the indices we were working on here. Okay, so I'm pulling up, this is kind of like a spreadsheet version of the Tokenmetrics Moon Index. So this is just a rough draft I was kind of working on. But let's say you have a portfolio that's weighted based on the grades, right? So let's say you want to have 11% in Bitcoin, 10% in Ethereum. Obviously, this hasn't been updated in a while, so don't take any of these numbers literally. But let's say Bitcoin's weight in your portfolio, because it's gone up a lot, it goes up to 15%. But your ideal weight is 11%. That means you would sell 4% of your portfolio, that's Bitcoin, and rebalance that and put that towards something else. So let's say your Zcash has gone to 5%. So you would sell 4% of your portfolio from Bitcoin and put that towards Zcash to bring it back to the balance of 9.69%, something like that, right? So that's really comes from modern portfolio theory. And the whole premise behind that is you want to sell on green candles and buy on red candles. And it's very counterintuitive to do that. That's why rebalancing a portfolio is good, because it forces you to do that. It forces you to sell when you don't want to sell, when your emotions don't want you to sell. It forces you to buy when your emotions don't want you to buy, because you have a logical system that's making you a smarter investor. So that's why we We also have the rankings here to kind of give you an idea. But we're actively working on the portfolio and the indices, because we think that's really the next step to making this a much better platform. If we go to our feedback page, if you have any feedback you want to submit, just go to feedback.tokenmetrics.com. We have been kind of swamped with work the last week or two, so bear with us, but we do go through here every now and then and kind of get feedback. So looking at this, robo-advisors obviously is what people want the most. Push notifications, light and dark mode. This is very interesting, okay. FOMO index, and portfolio recommendations, and accepting crypto for payment. Any other feedback you have, if you want to submit tokens for us to review, submit them there. All right, back to the AMA. Fear of Bernie stealing money for a bailout, like in Cyprus? Not necessarily, but I would say people are afraid of the high taxes because a populist or socialist candidate, especially on the Democratic side, they're looking to raise taxes. I mean, even Andrew Yang, although I do like what he's trying to do, I don't like high taxes. Okay, I'm a businessman, you know, and that's what people are afraid of. And crypto does have a reputation, whether we like it or not, for lots of people using it for mitigating taxes. Let's use that euphemism, as opposed to words like tax evasion or what have you. We'll say tax mitigation purposes. So maybe that's why privacy coins are going up, or maybe it's just people are just bullish on crypto. It's really hard to tell, but definitely candidates who plan to have high taxes, I think more people will flee to crypto as an asset class to store their wealth and be able to easily transfer it anywhere across the world very easily. Okay. Does the referral system allow me to collect in crypto instead of fiat? Unfortunately, not at the moment. Doing it in crypto will be very difficult. We would have to manually send every commission payment to everybody, unless we find out a way to automate that with software. So right now it's being done through PayPal. So when you sign up, you have to sign up with your PayPal email address. Speaking of the affiliate program, let me just kind of quickly go through. So once again, partners.tokenmetrics.com. If you're on the site, you can just also access it here. Click this, and then click affiliate program, and it takes you straight to the affiliate program. And you can it logs you in if you already have a TokenMetrics account. If you don't have an account, then you can create an account that's separate just for the affiliate program. So no, you don't have to be a subscriber to partake in the affiliate program. That way, maybe somebody doesn't have the money to subscribe to TokenMetrics, but if they refer as part of the affiliate program, they can earn money and maybe use that to eventually join the platform. But anyway, when you go in here, we have different guides. We have our help section. So I've made a nice walkthrough video, which I also put up on YouTube. And we also have, if you just go to the affiliate program, actually, if you just go here to our help section and scroll down to the Astronaut Affiliate Program, we have all kinds of different resources and guides to help you understand everything. So how to get started, a tour, how to join the commission structure, how to use the dashboard, changing referral codes and links, getting paid, refunds and cancellations. Didn't mean to click there. Tracking referrals, so how to track individual traffic sources, how many days visitors are tracked, if two affiliates refer the same customer, who gets paid, making disclosures, so disclosures 101 for affiliates, FTC guidance for online influencers, when to disclose you're an affiliate, how to disclose you're an affiliate disclosures and FAQs. Let me kind of drill into this one. So FTC guidance for online influencers. This is very crucial. You always have to disclose you're an affiliate. So just for total transparency, we even have a video here kind of showing you how to do that and why you should do that. But overall, this is the platform. You can track your clicks, the conversions, where people are coming from. We have different reports in the dashboard here. So you can track that. We have different assets, as we mentioned. So let's say you want to, let's say, as opposed to just sending people straight to their platform, you can send them to download our free guide, the PDFs or the webinar, and we'll still credit you towards that if they end up making a purchase down the road. And then this is the link. So just take this link, you can post it, email this. You can also, we have an asset for the affiliate program itself. So if you want to recommend sub-affiliates. So be sure to just kind of go through this and at some free time. Then we also have this is the sub-affiliates. So you can see the different, so it's 2% commission on anybody you refer. If they refer somebody else, you earn 2% on that, on whoever they refer. You can track your conversions here, right? So obviously this is a test account, so not really much here. Then you can also track individual sources. So let's say you create a video on YouTube for your channel, if you're a YouTuber, or if you create a post on Twitter, you can track that specific channel. So you can just add it as a new source and see how many people are coming specifically from that YouTube video or from Twitter or what have you. And then getting paid, right, with payouts down here at the bottom. So obviously this is a test account, so no payouts yet. Then you can set your payouts down there at the bottom. But I mean, let me know if you signed up for the referral or the affiliate program in the comments below, and let's all go to the moon together and bring your friends, bring your family, crypto family. Once again, anybody who joins using your referral code gets a 10% discount automatically. So if they use your link, whenever they sign up for an account, we add an extra 10% off. So win-win for everybody. All right, next question. Where can I buy Matic? Matic is on Binance. That's where Matic is. Binance and some other exchanges as well, but it's on Binance. It's not yet on Coinbase, I believe, but they did add it on Coinbase custody. But I think it is, they're on a pathway to getting onto Coinbase. Last time I spoke with the team, actually, I'm not sure I should be saying this, but anyway, from speaking to people in the know, let's say, I've been told Coinbase likes to list projects that typically have a market cap over 100 million. But that's something I was told last year. I'm not sure if that's changed anytime since I spoke to some people in the know. But if we go to Matic, its market cap is 41 million right now. So assuming that hasn't changed, probably going to be a while. But I mean, Loom was listed on Coinbase, and Loom's market cap, we do have Loom's grade now. Loom's market cap is only 16 million. So maybe that was a new rule. Maybe they don't have it anymore. But yes, we do have some new projects in here. Loom, for those who are curious, is 70th on our index. It hasn't had a good 1 year. We also added Chromia. Did we add Chromia? Okay, not yet. Oh, Liquid dApps. Somebody was asking about Liquid dApps. Yes, so Liquid dApps did not score so well, unfortunately, for technology. To read the full review, just go on the site. For fundamentals as well, I don't think we're finished with fundamental grades. Actually, I think we have. Yeah, so I know there's been some hype around it. Now, obviously, this is just kind of our opinion. Then we also have the technical analysis, but this project is trading already, so I think that's why people were asking about it. But for us, it's a no-go. It's outside our 100th index, so it's not really a all systems go for us. Okay, let me just kind of go through the questions here and see if we anything else I've missed. Okay, so any thoughts on Twyckenere, Trevor, and James? No, I'm not going to comment on that. What do you think about Hedera Hashgraph? Does it have any potentials of becoming a top 20 coin? Thanks, champ. Thank you. Hedera. Yeah, Hedera has potential. I mean, fundamental grade is decent. Technology is pretty good. It's just a matter of the TA. Right now, it's 29th in the Tokenmetrics index. So will it be a top 10, top 20 coin? In our Moon index, there is a possibility if the TA turns bullish, yes. In terms of crypto market cap, it's hard to say, but possibly. But this seems to really be something, a project that kind of, it has to be in a bullish trend to really make good money on it. But I think that is possible because at 29th, it could crack the top 20 and top 10, that's going to be a lot tougher. So it has to really be tearing it, or the fundamentals have to change drastically and improve a lot, because most of the projects in the top 10, they have a grade of 80 or higher when it comes to fundamentals and technology. Now, bear with us. We are going to make a big update to the grading system to have it update a lot more frequently now based on the machine learning grades, because we've been kind of optimizing them and we've changed it to really make it easier for people to understand. So we expect those changes to happen soon. So stay tuned for an update. Your views on Chainlink. So my view is the Tokenmetrics view. That's why I have the platform. So Chainlink. So Chainlink is so-so. Fundamentals 73, technology 74. We think that there's too much hype on Chainlink. But let me go back and see how that compares. So we do plan to add badges here that kind of show you the rank, so you don't have to keep on going back. But Chainlink is 32nd on the Tokenmetrics rank. So, and the market cap is 17th. So right now we think it's overvalued. That's really what you're saying, right? Well, if the Tokenmetrics rank is higher, right, than the market cap rank, we don't really think that's good, because ideally you want projects where the rank is higher than their market cap, like Matic, right? 3rd on the rank, 88th in market cap, right? So the upside is there. So at the moment, not so bullish on Chainlink. What do you think about OneChain now that they won another Blockchain Tech Excellence Award by Finance Summit in Beijing and releasing OneChain 4.0 next week and personal talk with the ministry in China? Not bullish on OneChain, despite that. I mean, anybody can win an award nowadays. But actually, speaking of awards, let us know if we should launch our own awards. Something I've been thinking about, maybe creating the Tokenmetrics Moon Awards and giving awards to like the projects with the best technology, the best fundamentals, the best overall grade, the best community, the best exchange, the best dApp. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Smash and like if you like it, if you like that idea, because there are lots of awards out there in the space, but we're not just looking to create an additional award, but we think none really have the interest of investors at heart, and none of them are really doing in-depth substantial analysis on projects. But for us, we can really say, okay, this is the best technology. We can say this is the best fundamental grade, or this is the best exchange, this is the best dApp, this is the best protocol. So let us know if you think that would be helpful to the community. We only want to do this if it's something of value. Let us know in the comments. Let me check the comments and see what people think. Okay, I think proof of work coins will do well. Okay. Okay, yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll share with the team. Okay, now going back to your question. So OneChain, not really, man. We've not officially reviewed OneChain, so can't really say much on it, but definitely be sure to submit it here. And if it gets lots of votes from the community at feedback.tokenmetrics.com, then we'll make that a priority to review. Okay, all right, next question. Will there be an alert when a coin turns bullish? Yes, that is something that is in the roadmap. If you go here, this is the second most requested feature. So yes, it's planned. Our team is working on it. We just have to kind of develop it and structure it, and our team has been swamped. We're thinking of having notifications for email and also for the browser, so that if you're in an app or whatever, we'll send a browser notification telling you, hey, this has changed. But that coin would have to be in your portfolio. It's kind of the idea we have, right? So meaning that you're tracking it in your portfolio and you get an alert. So maybe it could even be for coins that aren't in your portfolio, maybe kind of creating like a watch list. So we just finished working on the affiliate program, so that's kind of why we've been swamped. But we have heard the voice of the community. We know that this is something people are asking for a lot, so we'll definitely try to make that a top priority. All right. Hey, Ian, did you hear about the NBA being tokenized? Investing platform got the green light called Dream Fan Shares. Their token is SDH token, where you can invest and earn interest. Yes, I did hear about that. Spencer Dinwiddie, man, he's been balling this year. I have him on my fantasy team, my basketball fantasy team. Let me say Dream Shares. Let me just Google this real quick. Spencer Dinwiddie. So yes, so this is their platform. They're doing it on Securitize, which is pretty interesting. So this is a platform where fans can share in the success of their favorite stars. So Spencer Dinwiddie, who plays for the Brooklyn Nets, he's going to be offering his token. The only issue I have is it's only for accredited investors, so only for rich people. So the average person can't really participate or invest in this, which isn't really democratizing crypto. Now, imagine if you did this with a Reg A token and made this available to everybody. Oh man, that right there, game changer. But hey, shout out to him. He's making moves. He's trying to take crypto mainstream, trying to take crypto to the moon. This is the alert, or the article. Spencer Dinwiddie, Dream Shares launches January 13th. Okay, I haven't heard of this news site. Let me take a look at this. This is just purely for crypto? Okay, no, not really. But anyway, yeah, so I have heard of it. I've been following it on Twitter. I think it's big. So more power to him. But I just think if we can get people who aren't rich involved in as well, that would be really big. If we can get those kind of tokens approved as security tokens under a Reg A plus, that's huge for crypto. But obviously there isn't really an exchange right now that can trade that in the US. Okay. Okay, all right. Next question. What do you think about the project Orchid? So I've not looked at this since 2017 because they're planning to have an ICO, then they canceled it. I think because of the whole regulation and stuff. Then now they launched, and it was trading. Let me see what exchange it was on, because I did hear about this trading on some big exchange. Orchid token. Orchid protocol. Is this? Yeah, this is the one. So we don't have much information on market cap. Coinbase, yeah. So it was added on Coinbase Pro, man. To go from 0 to Coinbase, guys, that is okay. Yeah, that's definitely big. I think I did tell our team to put it on a list to review, but the list we have is pretty long. So to help us make it shorter, or to help us know which ones to focus on first, I recommend you submit it if it hasn't been submitted yet. Orchid, yeah, Orchid, it hasn't been submitted yet. Submit it at feedback under tokens or IEOs, and if the community votes on it, we'll make that a priority. Why is it a weekly TA trend as opposed to monthly or daily TA? Good question. Good question. So we thought, so he's asking about the trend here. So we're looking at the last 7 days. So daily we thought was too short term because we're taking the technical analysis score, and that's part of the overall score for a particular great crypto. We thought daily was too short term. Then we thought monthly was too long term. So we thought weekly was somewhere in the middle. But we're definitely open to feedback if you guys would prefer it to be monthly as opposed to weekly. Once again, make that an idea, suggestion, and if the community votes on that, then we'll be open to switching that to monthly. But the idea was we think people would complain if it was monthly, because monthly, by the time a trend has changed monthly, some people will be complaining that the gains have already kind of happened. But long-term perspective, it's definitely a much better idea, I think. But we didn't want to use daily because that'll be changing a lot, and we kind of want to have a longer term perspective when it comes to investing. So kind of that active portfolio mindset where you're making a few trades a year, anywhere from 3 to 8 trades or so each year. So that's kind of why we have that weekly TA trend as opposed to the daily. But monthly was something we thought about, but we thought that might have been too conservative. But let us know what you think. If the community prefers monthly, we can definitely make that change. How do VCs invest crypto projects, token equity? Okay, how they bring the value from, okay, I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to read this sentence. Okay, just give me a second. Let me read through this and see if I can translate how they bring. So basically the question is, how are VCs investing for equity using tokens, and how do they bring value if they're investing for equity? And he's seeing some VCs sell at 1/10 of the price. I mean, so equity investing, this is how it typically works. You have equity investors, VCs, could be angel investors, family and friends, people who give money and get equity in the company. Now, some projects also give equity investors an equivalent share of tokens for their equity. So if you put in $1 million worth of equity in a company, for example, they might also give you $1 million worth of tokens. So I've seen projects like MetaPay did that back in 2017, and some others have done that. So basically kind of having an equivalent. So in a way, it's kind of like you're getting two, or some allow you to convert your equity into tokens. So if you put in $1 million worth of equity, you can convert an equivalent amount into tokens to get liquidity. But let's say you want to keep some equity. Let's say you only convert $500,000. So you keep $500,000 in equity and you convert the rest into tokens. Or some, this was very popular in 2018. They say that equity investors have the first right or the first choice to buy at the earliest round. So let's say there's a seed round, you can buy in at that, and then after you've bought, then whatever's remaining can be sold to non-equity investors. So I've seen some projects do that. And this was kind of popular too last year, where the seed round was only made available to equity investors. So that's why they're able to get in at that seed price. Then people who had non-equity, who are looking to participate, had to buy at later rounds. So that's kind of how it works. How do VCs bring value? Well, I mean, that depends on the VC. It's obviously different for each VC, but typically they invest and they give access with their network, their Rolodex, connections. It's really just connections and their experience, because they might be past entrepreneurs who had success. They could be connected to other past successful entrepreneurs, or just connections. I think those are the main ways VCs are expected to bring value, but obviously each VC is different. Not all VCs are the same. So for example, Sequoia Capital and Kleiner Perkins have a much better reputation and have had more wins than an up and coming VC, for example. Will I be able to purchase crypto from Token Metrics if I incorporate it to a large exchange such as Binance? Not at the moment. That's not something we have, unfortunately. That's something we have to kind of wait until we have clearance from the SEC and regulators. And it's definitely been a tough road. Obviously, regulation is not easy. Lots of paperwork, lots of things to do. So taking longer than expected, but that ideally the plan is once we have the robo-advisor is when we would do that. But I mean, the path to that is definitely challenging, to say the least. Where will Ethereum be in the end of 2020? I mean, it's tough to predict, but we're very bullish on Ethereum. Ethereum 2.0 especially. We think that's going to do very, very well. Other than that, we can't really give an official prediction, but we're very optimistic. I mean, it's number 2 on our Token Metrics index right now. A few days ago, or last week rather, it was number 1. So overall, things look good for Ethereum versus all the other different cryptocurrencies. So it's a nice conservative play, we think. And Ethereum has moved up a lot in the last week or so. What's your take on the fake Toshi situation and BSV pump? Do you not think it's just damaging the credibility of cryptos? I mean, I don't really follow that much. I mean, I don't really like to follow FUD much. I mean, people can think what they think about that, but the whole thing about a free market is the market decides, right? So we're not really, at least for me personally, I don't really try to have a strong opinion on something that is so subjective, where we don't really know much. I mean, but we can say and have a strong opinion about is the technology of BSV, right? So if we pull this up here, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, what we can strongly say is the fundamentals are decent, the technology is not good, right? So whether or not he's Satoshi or not is irrelevant to us. We're just looking at the project itself. And we can say the technology is not good. So we aren't really going to get into the hoopla happening with the whole court thing and Craig Wright and whatever. But I mean, for us, we focus on the data. We focus on the facts. Now, is it bad for crypto? I mean, we don't think of ourselves as the crypto police. Okay. I mean, I think if you try to get on your high horse and try to police things, that in itself goes against the whole ethos of crypto. Crypto is supposed to be a free market where people are free to decide and do as they please. I mean, that's why, I mean, we even have products like Monero and privacy coins. I mean, so at the end of the day, we think it's a free market, and the free market will make its judgment, not us. Right? What we judge is purely the facts, and that's the technology and the fundamentals and the technical analysis. So, but in terms of getting into all that clickbait stuff, that's not really for us. What is the price target for Litecoin 2020? I mean, Litecoin isn't doing so well. I mean, so as I mentioned earlier, looking at it, fundamentals are decent, but technology is not good. TA right now is not good as well. So if we look at that, on our token metrics index is 60th, while the market cap is 7th. So as I mentioned earlier, we would rather have the token metrics rank be lower than the market cap, because that means there's an arbitrage. There's a chance, there's lots of upside. But we think the room for growth isn't really quite there. I mean, if this goes up, it's purely just based on newbies getting in because it's on Coinbase, I think, but not really because of good technology. I mean, if we even pull up the technology here, technology summary, I mean, basically the team and the architecture, and that they're barely updating the project. Not many GitHub commits, not much code. I mean, it's really just a fork of Bitcoin. I mean, really, a fork of Bitcoin, change up the name, change up some settings, and then they added Lightning Network and so on, some other stuff as well. But I mean, not much tech, guys, not much tech. But that's just our opinion. So any books on working for a VC? Yes. So let me pull up some books here I can recommend. Okay, let's go to Amazon, our favorite book source. Okay, let's say Angel. I would say Angel by Jason Calacanis. I think that's definitely a book to recommend. Let me just check a few things here. Actually, let's use Google instead. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would say Angel by Jason Calacanis is a good book. So the title is How to Invest in Technology Startups, Timeless Advice from an Angel Investor Who Turned $100,000 into $100 million. So that's a good book. Another book that's good is VC Deals, I think. I think that's the name of the book. Yeah, sorry, Venture Deals. Venture Deals by Brad. Venture Deals, Brad Feld and Jason Mendelson. As you can see here, this is also on there. So these two books are a good start. I would say also 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. who's he's an investor in PayPal Mafia. So notes from startups or how to build the future. Also, you could also look into the Lean Startup. That's a popular book in the VC world. So definitely recommend that as well. So yeah, I think those are probably the books to recommend. Let me see if there are any other books here. Let's say venture capital. I think read those books. If you read those, you'd have a good start in terms of where to start. So, but good question. Good question. I've read those books myself, so that's why I can recommend them. Okay, value transfer coins era is greater than protocol coins era, is greater than infrastructure coins era, is greater than exchange coins era, is greater than DeFi era. I mean, possibly, but I anything can happen in crypto. Okay, so can't really go steadfast on that rule. But what I can say is, for us, what we think is token metrics moon index era. So that kind of does have the value, the things you did mention. So Bitcoin is money transfer, obviously a store of value. Ethereum, the SEC said they view this as a currency, not a security. But also the DeFi movement is big, and lending coins and all that is happening on that. Matic, protocols, Cosmos, Binance Exchange. So there are always outliers in each one. So it's kind of hard to generalize. But for us, we just kind of go based on looking at everything and all the different data points as a whole. So for us, these are if we had to pick 10, these are the ones we'd pick. Oh, wow, guys. And look at that. Talk about real time. The scores just changed again. So Eternity has dropped out of the top 10 during this live stream. Blockstack is now number 10. Waves. So Waves has gone up during the live stream, I believe. Maker has gone down. Okay, let's go through the top 10 again. So here's a nice challenge. Go through the top 10 now, and then when you're done with the live stream, go back to the beginning and see what the top 10 was. I mean, that's why we like having this real-time system. So the top 10 right now, this is what? Almost 2 hours into the live stream. Bitcoin, number 1. Ethereum, number 2. Matic, number 3. Cosmos, number 4. Binance, number 5. Dash, number 6. Decred, number 7. Maker, number 8. Waves, number 9. Blockstack, number 10. Okay, guys, that's very, very interesting. Let me see if I can find what we had early in the live stream, just to compare. Just give me 1 second, guys, as I'm pulling this up. We are doing this live. So earlier we had Bitcoin 1, Ethereum 2, Matic 3, Cosmos 4. That's the same. Maker was number 5. Maker has gone from number 5 to number 8. So still in the top 10, but it's down 3. Then number 5 is Binance. Binance before was number 8. So Maker and Binance have flipped. Dash was 6. Decred was 7. Number 9 was Blockstack before. So Blockstack has gone from 9 to 10th. Waves is 9. Okay, Waves has replaced Eternity. Okay, well, I mean, that's live, guys. That's as live as you get. So I think that's really the power of having all these data points plus the technical analysis, because now we can really have this unfair advantage, I think. But anyway, hope that answers your question. how can Ethereum go up with SO plus token Ponzi and many ICOs still holding a lot of Ethereum ready to dump? Well, I mean, we're looking at the technical analysis that factors in. So, and then also the fundamental and technology are solid. So, and compared to everything else, I mean, it's better. So sometimes it's not really about what can go up, but it's about what can't go down, or what can't go down as much. So that's really kind of what that entails. So we think Ethereum is a nice conservative play that should be part of any smart investor's portfolio. Obviously, we're not giving any investment advice. This is just kind of our take. So this is really just saying Ethereum should still be part of your portfolio. Okay, next question. Sorry, I'm not much of a tech guy. How exactly does the AI on Tokemetrics tech work for trading? Okay, so good question. So right now, the AI we have is studying the grades. So we do understand this is hard for people to understand. So we're working on creating an easier interface. So apologies for having this be so geeky. So, but what we're doing is we're creating grades for each project, or rather each grade, and then we're trying to measure how accurate it is for creating a positive ROI. And then down here we have the different weights and the different coins. But then we'll get this, and once we find the optimum grade, we'll then update the technology grade on the system. So I've kind of been fine-tuning this. So we expect to have new updates to the grades, and that also to replace this with charts that will just show you the performance of the each grade over time. Let's pick a coin. Let's pick Icon, since that seems to be popular. So we do understand the price predictions have kind of been off for some projects. So right now, so price predictions are based purely on past price. So that goes with by stating the obvious that past performance is not indicative of future results. Let me say that again. Past performance does not mean we can predict the future. This is just for research purposes. So don't want people to go out there and bet the house on this. So this is based purely on price data. And recently, it has been tough because the market has been very volatile, so all over the place. Right now, the models are running every 24 hours. So the issue we have with that is the price can jump 20% in like an hour, and that messes up the entire prediction. So the tweak we're working on is making it more granular. So changing the predictions to run and update every 3 hours, we think, or even every hour, but probably every 3 hours is going to be a lot more manageable for us. So that means we have to scale our entire database and store the pricing for each token in the system by the hour. So with Icon, we have to store the price every single hour and then run models on that. So it's definitely not easy, definitely not cheap with AWS servers. Just got the bill from Amazon. For last month, it was like over $600, mainly on the machine learning models, and that's going to keep going up and up. And now we have to really kind of optimize and tweak the database. So when it's running the models and the queries, it's not taking too long. So that's why it's taken some time. But thanks for everybody who's been supporting us and understanding. But in general, the price prediction just looks at past performance and uses that to try to predict where it's going. So it gives you a prediction and also like a prediction low and high. So think of this as kind of like your price target number one, and think of this as maybe the stop loss. So the prediction high is kind of like the first price target, the day high is like the second price target, and the prediction low is kind of like the stop loss. But we do plan to change this to a graph that shows the actual price versus the predicted price. We think that's going to be a lot easier for people. But yeah, that's kind of how that works. Also at the bottom, we have more info on that. in terms of what exactly we're doing, but we do understand it is tough for people to understand if you aren't a data scientist. So yeah, basically, long story short, we're working on making it easier to understand what the AI is doing. But I mean, at a high level, for the grades, we have our grading system. Then we have the AI take that and also create 100 other variations of grading systems. And then it tests that and scores them and compares them to see which one is more accurate. Then it takes the winner for that each day for each particular cryptocurrency. And it creates 100 variations based off of that winning model. So basically, it creates 100 children derived from the winner. And out of those, it tests them and sees to see which one is winning. So we follow natural selection from evolution, so the theory of evolution. So we're really using genetic evolution machine learning models. So it's kind of like breeding a horse or breeding a whatever, right? We're trying to breed, and yeah, I would say it's like breeding horses or breeding dogs. If you want to breed a particular dog, you have to kind of control and take the, if you're trying to breed a fast horse or a stallion, you get the best stallion of all time, like the Preakness or whatever, and some other best female a horse of all time, have them have babies with the expectation that those babies will have amazing genes. Then you keep on doing that, and you keep taking the winners and having them breed and create new models. So we're running 20 million models a day in total, and we're adding more and more cryptocurrencies every single day. So I mean, obviously we aren't perfect, and no investor can ever claim to be perfect, but the whole point of what we're doing is trying to give you an edge and trying to find whatever edge we can. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Do you think Tezos can reach the heights of Ethereum? Not right now. I don't think we can, not right now. So if we pull up Tezos here, it's 31st on the token metrics rank. Market cap rank is 14th. So right now it's not really so bullish on it. So I would like to have the token metrics rank lower than the market cap, which means there's lots of room for growth. So right now there isn't really, we aren't so bullish on it basically. Although technology is decent, there's lots of room to grow. So don't think so at the moment. Okay, let me see how many questions we have left here. Okay, what is your view on the recent rally? Most of the forks went really high. Is it possible to find it out with AI? The forks, I mean, so the forks, that data, I think that was just really more of the market sentiment or people speculating on the whole Craig Wright thing and whether or not the courts would state that he owns the Bitcoin and he has the actual wallet addresses and keys. So one thing we have been thinking about is adding sentiment analysis into what we're doing. So kind of taking the sentiment for a particular coin on Twitter or anything like that. But for now, that's something way down in the roadmap. But I think that's really the only way to really get that data, being able to factor in the sentiment analysis. But now we're dealing with so many other things that we have to kind of work on before we can get to the sentiment. That's kind of a nice to have and not really a necessity at the moment, I think. But let us know what you think. Submit that. If you want us to work on that, submit that here at feedback.tokenmetrics.com. All right, which is good. Ergo, Thunder, Multivac. I don't think we have any of those in the system right now. Ergo. Yes, we don't have Ergo. MTV, we don't have Multi. And Thunder, we don't have. So we haven't finished grading those, but once again, submit them on our feedback page. And if the community votes on those, we'll make sure to add them. What would you tell someone who wants to start a blockchain business but has no idea about how the technology works? I would say first learn how the tech works before you start creating a business in the blockchain space. So I would say first learn about the space. So as mentioned, read blockchain books. So read Digital Gold. This book, Bitcoin and the Inside Story of the Misfits and Millionaires Trying to Reinvent Money. That's a good book. Read The Age of Cryptocurrency. This one, How Bitcoin and Digital Money Are Changing the Global Economic Order. Actually, shout out to Ivan on Tech, our friend. He has a course called Blockchain for Business. So obviously I've not taken the course myself, so I can't really comment much on it, but let me see what I think this one, Blockchain Business Masterclass. Yeah, so this is his course. So check this out. I would say overall though, if the idea is to get into the blockchain space, I'll tell you what I did. So I think that's probably a better example, telling you my story. So I was working in IBM, not really in the space, but once I got in first through investing, I began investing in Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, ICOs, all that. I read the books, those books I mentioned, Digital Gold and the Age of Cryptocurrency. I then began going to conferences. I went to Token Summit. Then that was my first conference. That was in New York. Then I went to some other conferences, some in LA. I went to the Blockstack Summit back in California. I went to some other LA conference. Yeah, so I would say start attending conferences, start meeting people in the space, start networking, and then start working with people and just building your network. Work with people for free. That's a very hidden secret. Work with people, find high value people that you want to work with, people you want to associate with, people that would make for good recommendations, and volunteer to work with them for free. Just offer value. And if you can win them as a good reference, they'll co-sign you to go work anywhere else, right? So for example, our analyst, Sam, he got in to working with us by first volunteering to be our Telegram admin. Did that for 6 months. Then when a position opened up, he was the first person I spoke with, okay, because I knew him, I trusted him. So I would say just put yourself around high value people, offer value, then learn more about the space. The more you learn, the better you'll get. Then people will come to you if they see value in whatever you're doing. And that's really how you get in. In terms of starting a business, you got to know what you're doing. Don't just start a business just for the sake of starting a business. Otherwise, people will see through that and nobody will want to really work with you on that. That's my take on it. But education is power. Knowledge is power. Read as many books as you can on the space, blockchain, business, entrepreneurship, all that. So that's really what I can suggest. So hope that helps. Man, these questions keep on coming. They don't stop. The questions do not stop. Okay, so how about sharing your portfolio in Tokenmetrics? Yes, good question, good question. So that is something I am working on. I've not finished entering it into the system because I've kind of been doing some modeling and testing. But what I can share, if we go to our team disclosures page, so I will be adding this into the system. So my holdings: Helium, MetaHash, Chromia, Alchemy, Cody, Resistance, Sparkster. Yes, I haven't sold Sparkster. There's no volume to sell herein, Eden Chain, Phantasma. So those are really the ones I have. But yes, this is coming soon, guys. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. It is coming soon. I think it's something people have been asking for. Let me actually send my development team something real quick, because I do have to reset my portfolio because I did have some test stuff in there. And we are aware of the issue with the price. That the price only shows pricing data for the last 3 months. That's kind of based on the plan we're on with CoinMarketCap and the price histories. So we have to switch that to something that has all-time pricing data. So we have to upgrade to like the enterprise plan. So bear with us on that. Okay, going on to the next question. Hi, Ian. Lending Block just processed their first crypto-to-crypto loan of 100K. Do you still hold Lending Block? And what are your thoughts on their first loan being processed? No, I don't hold Lending Block. Unfortunately, I sold that back towards, I think, yeah, in 2019, I sold that after almost a year of holding with no luck. But now they've been doing well, I hear. So I mean, that's great for them. So no, I don't hold it. I think DeFi is warming up. It's heating up, if anything. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. We've not added that into token metrics, I believe. Yeah, we've not added Lending Block into the system. But I don't think they would score well, just kind of going off the hunch, because the system is stricter than before. But hey, it's good to see them doing well. Okay, interesting question. Have you ever thought of having a new show in the morning called Token Metrics in the Morning with Ian Bellina, where you give the highlights for the day? For example, like top 10 from each category. So doing a daily show, I've not thought about doing that. I mean, let me know what you guys think, if you think it's a good idea. But I think that might be unfair to the paying customers of Token Metrics. If I'm just every single day giving away everything. That's why we kind of have it to once a week. But maybe we could do it as a show for customers and subscribers. So we have been thinking of and also looking into launching our own video platform. So it would be, and also our own academy where we put all our content evergreen. So any customer can access that in the site. So think something like academy.tokenmetrics.com or video.tokenmetrics.com, where we have all our content there, and also exclusive content that right now we've been sending to people on our premium newsletter. So like the TA and everything, and even just right now we have Bill creating a course on investing. So he's put out 2 videos so far. We have some of the other videos in the works. So putting all that content on our website. So that is something we could look into, but if we did, it would be specifically for people on the site, and also with the issues YouTube has been having with them trying to censor crypto and all that stuff. And we've also had our own issues with YouTube as well in the past. So for us, everything is really about building everything on our own platform. So if we did something like that, it would be purely on the Token Metrics website. But let me know what you guys think. Submit that on the feedback. Say, hey, create a daily show. Let me know what you guys think. All right. What if I'm not an all-star for the previous question? Okay, not sure what previous question you're talking about, but for the blockchain business, then you got to partner with all-stars. That's really either that or just bet on yourself, turn yourself into an all-star. I mean, that's really the only other way. I mean, it's been done before. people have created great companies without having the past reputation or credibility. So anything is possible. Bet on yourself. Your thoughts on QuantStamp? We do not have QuantStamp in the system. Sorry, if I can spell. Yeah, we don't have QuantStamp in the system. So submit that if you want us to take a look at it. But I was an investor in the ICO a while back, made a decent amount of money. But other than that, it's gone quiet. It hasn't really done much since then. Okay, Ian, realistically, do you think we will see 100K Bitcoin in the next 2 years? Realistically, if you had to ask me, hey, Ian, is Bitcoin going to 100K? That means Bitcoin would have to, right now we're at what? About 8K, 9K? Do a 10X? I think so. Actually, let's back up. So if Bitcoin just does a modest 2x, right? So from 8K it'll go to 16K. I mean 16K to 32K. It's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, being conservative, I would say no, but the optimism in me, the moon boy in me wants to say yes, because I mean, don't we all want crypto to go to the moon and beyond? Otherwise, why are we here? So it's very tough to say. Conservatively, I would say no. I mean, I can see Bitcoin going back to, let's say Bitcoin surpasses all-time high this year. Bitcoin goes past 20K. Let's say it goes to 32K. Then a year from there, Bitcoin could possibly go to 64K, 75K. I would say realistically, no. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but I would say no. Although if it does, hey, I'll be the first one to be happy for it. But realistically, no. But I do think we do pass an all-time high. So yeah, this kind of my take on that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Curious to know what everybody else thinks about Bitcoin. Do you think Bitcoin is going to 100K? How and when do you decide to sell a token? Do you follow up often and closely with each of your holdings? I mean, for the last year or so, not really. I've just been selling whenever I need to take profits or take money. So I haven't really been trading. It's just, hey, I have to fund a business expense. Let me sell some crypto. So that's been my strategy for the last 1 year, because everything we're doing is bootstrapped. We did raise a small amount of money from family and friends, but other than that, it's just been self-financed. So that's when I've been selling. I also look to sell on green days. So when there's a green candle, so when I hear people talking about this is going to the moon or this is doing well, that's when I take profits. So I've been trying to avoid taking profits on red days, red candles. So that's really what I've been doing. So whenever I see green and I need some money, I sell. But if you're purely long-term and you don't have to sell to fund any personal or business expenses and you're just kind of hodling, then yes, I would just look at what Tokenmetrics is saying, right? So if you're just going based on the top 10, building a portfolio of the top 10, whenever something drops out of the top 10, I'll probably look to sell. Or going back to the spreadsheet we have here, if your portfolio is based on a particular allocation percentage, so whether by grade or market cap or what have you, whenever it drifts off the allocation, you pick a set period of time to rebalance your portfolio. Definitely not daily. So you could do weekly or monthly, or even quarterly. So you can say let's say you're rebalancing your portfolio every week. So that means you pick a particular day to rebalance your portfolio every week. It could be every Sunday night at 8 p.m. You go through and see what coin is out of the top 10. So let's say last Sunday, what was in the top 10, and this Sunday, and you just rebalance your portfolio based on that. So when a tornado drops out, you sell. When waves comes in, you buy. Then you buy, let's say you want to have 10% of each. So if 10% is in Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes to 15% and Ethereum goes to 5%, you sell 5%, or you sell half of your Bitcoin to take profits from that 5% of your total portfolio, and you put that towards Ethereum to buy the dip. So that's kind of the strategy I would use. I would use modern portfolio theory, and I would pick a set interval to rebalance my portfolio. So weekly or monthly. I mean, for me, weekly might be too much unless it's automated. So maybe you do monthly or quarterly every 3 months, right? So something like that I think is good. So maybe like a monthly rebalancing of your portfolio could work. All right. So that's how I would personally do it. Hey, Ian, is it possible to start a live stream an hour earlier because of the viewers from Europe? Possible. What time is it over there and wherever you guys are? That's something we could think about. Might be tougher for us, but hey, once again, I know I sound like a broken record. Submit it at feedback.tokenmetrics.com as an idea. If more people want us to start the live streams earlier, then we'll do it. Okay? All right. Ian, can you make courses about other ventures outside of crypto on how to, for example, start a particular business? Yes, we could. Once again, submit that feedback, tokenmetrics.com. So here, I'll add like a general, like, should we create a course? And then if you guys have any ideas of courses for us to make, then definitely submit those as well. So because we want to make sure we're not creating the wrong course, because obviously you want to create something that people will watch and people will value. So yeah, let us know what you think about that. But yeah, creating courses has been something we have been looking into. We think this is really the next foray for us. Ian, how does it feel not being a wage slave anymore? How would your life be today if you, one, never got involved in crypto? Yeah, I mean, so making money in crypto was definitely good. But one thing I did realize is it's easier to make money than it is to keep the money. So, I mean, as people know, I get, there's so many things that happen that you don't really account for. Like I got hacked, I lost 2.5 million from that. Then crypto market began tanking. We had like a 2-year bear market. Then I put in millions of dollars into Token Metrics and my businesses and building those up. So to keeping things real, it's actually tougher, a lot tougher. I mean, definitely not in crypto retirement anymore. Just so many responsibilities that you have as an entrepreneur, as having your own company, like having people depend on you for their lives, like for making a living, having to have payroll, pay people, and then having to manage a business in a bear market in crypto. Man, the worst. I mean, it is not easy, but as Biggie and May said, more money, more problems. And I mean, back then I was singing the song, I didn't really get it, but man, now I really get it. Like more money, more problems. Then all the different things with the media, like you sneeze and makes news and turns into FUD, like anything you do. So I mean, hey, definitely not complaining, but I mean, it's challenging. I mean, so for anybody out there who's aspiring to get out of the rat race, it depends on who you are as a person, right? It's like for me, I quit my job at IBM, traveled the world for 1 year. I was working, doing the crypto world tour, 100x advisors, but I just couldn't be that person who would go be on a beach for the rest of my life drinking cocktails. Like, no, after a year of doing that, I was like, man, I gotta get back to work. Now, I'm also a big risk taker, meaning that I like to swing for the fences. I like to swing for the home runs. And when you do that, you strike out a lot. So, I mean, I've had my fair share of strikeouts. But being a public figure, when you swing for the home run, people see you strike out and live, like, because everything you do makes news. Like even token metrics and everything else I'm doing, like I could have just sat on a beach, enjoyed my money, but I was like, man, I want to go for $1 billion. And I feel like if I have to go for $1 billion, this is the platform I need to build, to use to myself to invest and to find the best projects to invest in, but also to build something of value that other people can leverage and use. Because the best way to become a millionaire is to help 1,000 people make $1,000, or the best way to become a billionaire is to help a million people make $1,000. So for me, it was really a question of, I wanted something to give me responsibility, something that wakes me up every single day with joy, where I don't have to think about everything else. Because to me, token metrics keeps me up late at night until 4 a.m., sometimes 5, 6 a.m., and wakes me up with joy because I know I'm working on something big, even though not everybody sees it. But the same thing, kind of like with Diary of a Made Man and crypto on the spreadsheet, people didn't see it until it was popular. But I recall those late nights working on the spreadsheet, and we had like 10 people on the live stream. But imagine after a while, when that blew up, those people, they got it. They saw that vision very early on. So now we're doing the same thing with token metrics. And I mean, it's not easy at all. I mean, I'm not trying to even say it's anywhere close to easy. It's been tough. It's the toughest thing I've done in my life. Like putting together a team of 10 people, managing them, paying for them. They're definitely not cheap. I mean, we have 2 guys from Goldman Sachs. That is not cheap. Okay. Self-financing that ourselves, building the technology, launching. Then despite the bad reputation we've kind of received with some people from Sparkster and the bear market and crypto and ICOs tanking, then the regulation during my Series 65 investment advisor exam and passing that, now doing the paperwork to apply to the SEC to become a registered investment advisor, the legal fees, man, I have 2 lawyers on the team, and that's not cheap. I mean, one of the lawyers costs like $600 an hour. I mean, so in a bear market with no VC funding. So it's been challenging. I definitely don't want to make it seem like me leaving IBM has been nothing but sunshine and roses, man. It's been the toughest thing I've done. I mean, looking back at it, I think it was the best move I ever did. But man, I mean, not every single day is heaven. Some days can be pretty brutal. Some days you're like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like, if I just had a nice cushy office job, I wouldn't have to worry about this. But I mean, that's not me. That's not what I signed up for. So definitely not complaining. But one thing you have to understand is when you choose to become an entrepreneur, so somebody earlier was asking about starting a business, and you go all in, like I am all in right now. Like kind of like that famous Spanish captain who went to South America and burnt the ships and told his troops, either we conquer or we die. There is no going back. There is no home. This is our home now. We're going to make this our home or we die. That's really the mindset that I've had as an entrepreneur. It's definitely not healthy for everyone. If you want your cushy 9-to-5 job, hey, don't quit. But for me, I couldn't really do that, right? So when I quit, I had money, but I'm the kind of person who was willing to risk it all to make even more money, knowing that, yes, I could fail, but it's about that what if you win? What if you hit that home run? Then you're set for the rest of your life. Your family's set, their children, their children's children. the things I could do for Africa, the community, crypto, everybody in general. That's really why I went all in on tokenmetrics.com, and that's why I like being an entrepreneur. So yeah, I could have just sat on my millions and said, you know what, I'm good. But I said, you know what, I'm going to spend this money to try to build something of value. So I know I kind of rambled, but hopefully that was helpful to you guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, let me bring back the screen here. Ian, are you still a crypto millionaire? I would say in terms of crypto portfolio, no. I mean, I've cashed out a good amount of my portfolio and I've reinvested that into token metrics. So in terms of physical, tangible cash, like do I have $1 million laying around in the bank? No, definitely not. I spent that money, or rather I invested that money into betting on myself and our team. Now the valuation of token metrics, I guess on paper, is worth millions. So, but that's just on paper. That's not really anything tangible. So hopefully that answers your question. Do you have any updates on MetaHash? Don't really have any updates at the moment. I do know they do have somebody they do have somebody we were speaking to in South America, an American in South America, who just built a dApp on MetaHash, and the team and the developer are working on kind of getting that to launch and to publish that to the world and to the community. It's kind of like a better version of Metagate in a way, where you have hashtags and you can search for things. It's kind of like a browser in a way. I would say it's a cross between a browser and the App Store. So stay tuned for that. Why are you so bearish on Kin? Kin as in kick? We don't have that here in our system. So I think when I said I'm bearish, I think that was just based on the stuff they've been dealing with. So they're being sued by the SEC. Okay, I mean, that's the first sign. Okay, that maybe if you have a position in there, maybe it's time to get out before things get worse. So I mean, that's really based off of that. And then it's not done well since it's launched. I was an investor in the ICO and I got out like a year later. I just took the L and got out. So I think that's really that. And they haven't done well. I mean, that's really it. And now they're much better projects. I think even Telegram Ton and Facebook Libra are much better. They're also social networks launching their own cryptocurrencies. So I think that's definitely a much better place. If I had money in Kin, I would get out and I'll just put into the token metrics top 10. I think for me, long term, that's a better play than keeping my money in something that's being sued by the SEC. Okay, next question, same question again. Do you think Kin will win the SEC case and can Moon? Not really. The SEC rarely goes after you unless they have something they think they can win. And they could have just settled with the SEC like EOS and others did, but they wanted to sue them or countersue and go after both of them. It's challenged to say the least. I think if they do win, that will be a big win for crypto and could really set up the next run up, the next bull market, and say, hey, we showed the SEC that this is the way to do it. We can win, blah, blah, blah. But it's highly unlikely. So, but I wouldn't personally have any money in Kin. And that's all I can really say. You own 4 billion Kin? Oh man. Well, good luck with that. Good question. Where then Daytona's at? You spend it on token metrics. I found it pricey, by the way. What happens when that doesn't work out? What you're going to be doing? Thanks, Ian. Good question. So it's actually not a Daytona. Well, actually, I forget. So he's talking about my watch. It's like, well, actually, it is a Daytona. Sorry, it's a Cosmograph Daytona. I mean, back then it was good. Back then, hey, we thought crypto was going to the moon. We thought it was never gonna stop. But yeah, I mean, things obviously change. Would I do it again? Probably not so much. Like nowadays, I'm more level-headed, right? I think the bear market has shown all of us that crypto can't keep on going up indefinitely. Even then, I mean, because that was kind of in a bear market and things were kind of good, but that was before I launched Token Metrics, because I got that September 2018, which was my 1-year anniversary from IBM, and I launched Token Metrics. I began working on Token Metrics really December 2018, so 2 months later. So now, I mean, I did think about, hey, you know what, maybe this is something I don't really need. I have thought about maybe selling it just to kind of be more modest. I definitely did go through a brand new phase, as we call it, where kind of like when you make your first million. Okay, I feel like this is a rite of passage that anybody who makes their first million has to go through. You have to get it out of your system, because having money and being somebody who never had that amount of money before, like, because I definitely didn't come from old money, where you're very flashy with your newfound wealth. And it's definitely something, I mean, looking back, I mean, I kind of laugh about it. Now I'm more modest, but I think it was something I had to go through. I don't think I could just skip it. I feel like I had to get it out of my system, kind of like anything, like any vice. Like you just get it out of your system, and then once it's out of your system, you never really even have to look at it again. Like nowadays, I'm super low key. Like I mean, I know when I had my newfound money, I was kind of flashy, you know, with a nice watch, maybe like the designer everywhere that's in your face. But nowadays, I'm very modest. Like I'd rather wear a designer that has no logo. Like something could be fancy or flat or even expensive, but nobody has to know. Like only those who know. I mean, so like even this is designer, but nobody even knows, right? So nowadays I'm more low key, more modest like that, because I've learned. I mean, I also have more empathy, right? Not just for like my friends, but just for everybody in crypto, because not everybody in crypto was making money, right? So understanding that responsibility that, hey, just because life is good for you does not mean it's good for everybody else. And you have to understand the pains they're going through. So you don't really want to put it in their face that your life is good. I've even had to kind of tell some other crypto YouTubers about this, right? Because they've now begun making money. Like, for example, I know lots of YouTubers who are crushing it with the Bybit affiliate program. And they're flying first class, posting it on IG, doing all that. And in a way, I kind of get it, because now they're making money and they have this newfound wealth. They're living like they've never lived before, and they're kind of trying to show people success. It's definitely a phase that they're kind of going through. So I always tell myself, hey, this is just a phase this person is going through. They'll mature out of it, and maybe they'll be wiser about doing things like that. I know myself, I've kind of learned with that. So nowadays I'm more modest. Like even like my IG nowadays is not sexy at all. Like all I post is just screenshots of me working at 4 a.m. at night, as opposed to like me flying first class or doing whatever. I mean, because one thing I've learned is when you make money, it's about keeping that money. And that's one thing that's very tough to grasp. People always say, hey, making money is good, but making money is easy. Keeping it is the tough thing. Like whenever you hear the stories of athletes who made millions, like Anton Walker made over $100 million in his lifetime, lost all of it. How did he lose it? And before I didn't really understand how that was possible. But as somebody who's made money and also spent a lot of money, I can also see how, right? Because it's not like you're just spending your money on stupid things the entire time. Sometimes you're spending your money on smart things that could be big wins, but they end up not working out. I mean, like, for example, I spent over $2 million on Tokenmetrics, Diary of a Made Man, the Crypto World Tour, building up the brand, the network, everything we're doing, all this, right? This could work out or it couldn't work out. I mean, so far it's kind of working out. I mean, thanks to all the support, I mean, the crypto family, but if crypto goes to zero, man, we're all wrecked, but I'm super wrecked too, right? So I'm the biggest pro crypto believer out there because I'm all in on crypto. Like, this has to work out. Now, your question earlier, what would I do if this doesn't work out? And I haven't even thought about that. Like, I don't really have a plan B. Like, crypto is my plan B. Crypto is everything. So crypto has to work out. Okay, I'm gonna make crypto work out. But being serious, if crypto doesn't work out, if I had to pick a backup plan, I would probably become a VC, like outside of crypto, like just in the tech space, like venture capital. I'll probably go into venture capital, I think, because I can leverage all the investing experience we have in the VC space. So I would say venture capital is probably one of those. Outside of that, maybe private equity. So I think something to do with investing still, right? Because investing is my passion. So if crypto doesn't work out, I'll probably just pivot to venture capital or private equity. But I mean, I want crypto to work out. I want blockchain to work out because this is what I think is the future. But if you told me crypto goes to zero, what are you doing next? Probably that. If not that, then probably something to do with just business and entrepreneurship, because that is something I do like. So maybe something to do with that and education, maybe creating content as usual around being an entrepreneur, being in the business world. But I think that's really what I would do if crypto didn't work out. But hey guys, thanks. I appreciate the questions. Definitely very good. Okay, let's go to the next one. When the market eventually turns bullish, what do you think about projects that were once hyped, like Loom, Mainframe, Chromia, Sol, Aeon? Good question. I mean, all those, I mean, they could go up, but I would still prefer the Tokenmetrics top 10 over those, because Loom we did look at, Fundamentals 65, Technology 60, so it's not quite there. Chromia we're looking at still. So far, Tech Grade and Fundamentals, they're in the 50s, not so good. Then you said Sol we haven't finished looking at, which is Phantasma. And the others, Mainframe as well. Aeon, I don't think we have Aeon in the system, do we? Let's see. Yeah, we haven't finished looking at Aeon. Right now, it's just the technical analysis. But yeah, I don't think any of them, because now the market is even more saturated than before. So what was working back then is not really going to work 2 years, because those came out in 2018. Now we're in 2020, guys, almost 2 years since then. So I don't think they're really going to do well because there's a lot more competition. Loom is now competing against Matic Network. They're competing against lots of other projects that now even have better technology than them. So, because Loom's entire premise was scaling Ethereum and making it faster, but now Matic came out and was like, boom, right in your face. We have better technology. I mean, obviously they're doing things slightly different, and kind of slightly different use case. They kind of focused more on games and the things like that, but the space is more saturated and more competitive, which is the crucial thing to not forget. It's more competitive. And people have been jaded from losing money and alts the last few years. So I think that makes it tougher for those projects to do well, to be honest. So for me, I would only look at the Token Metrics top 10 index, and I would personally put my money in those and then rebalance maybe at a set period of time, whether monthly, weekly, quarterly. Annually is probably too long, I think, because crypto goes so fast. So I think weekly or monthly is probably the best strategy. Now, obviously, I do still own some of those tokens. I still own tokens from investing and advising Phantasma. I do own Chromia from being an investor, and those tokens are vested and locked up. Otherwise, to be honest, I would have sold everything, but because they're vested or locked up, I can't sell. So that's really my take on those. Okay, next question. Man, it's gonna be a long live stream, but hey, we're flowing right now. Flowing a lot. Okay. What is a good strategy for poor people to make a decent ROI during this bull run? Have $1,000 to $5,000 disposable money. I would say, first of all, if so, based on your question, right? Assuming you're a poor person or don't have much money, as you state, don't forget the 2 rules of investing. 1, don't lose money. 2, don't lose money. Those are the 2 main things. So, and then ask yourself, even though it goes against those 2 rules, is this money you're willing to lose? Meaning that if this went to 0, would you feel bad about this, or would you just say, you know what, that's it, no harm done, on to the next? Because so many people say this is money they're willing to lose, but when they lose money, they start complaining. They start saying, we want a refund, we want to sue. We've seen the same thing happen in 2018, 2019, when crypto and ICOs began tanking. So many people showed to themselves and their friends and everybody else that they invested a lot more than they were willing to lose. And I think it's very easy to know whether you invested a lot more than you were willing to lose. When you lose money on an investment, do you cry about it? Do you complain about it? Do you ask for a refund? Let's say you invest, let's say you have $5,000, as you said, right? And you invest $2,500 into an ICO or a project, and it goes to 0. And you complain about it, then in my definition, you invested a lot more than you were willing to lose. Because think about it like this. Let's say you have $5,000 and you invest $1 into a particular coin, it goes to 0. Do you complain about it? No, it was just $1. So that means you are willing to lose that. So that's the same strategy you should have. You should only invest what you're willing to lose. I mean, I think the best case study is in Sparkster. I mean, yes, I know our team messed up on Sparkster. That was an L. People were asking how come Ian wasn't so mad or upset. I mean, because at that time, I only put in what I was willing to lose. Even though it was a lot of money, I put in like almost 200 Ether, something like that. I put in over 100 grand in Sparkster, basically. It was a lot of money. I mean, I got super wrecked. Looking at CoinMarketCap, Sparkster is down 99.6%. And I look at that and I'm like, damn. I mean, talk about an L. But I'm a grown man. I mean, I put on my big boy pants and I knew the game I was playing. I mean, I knew investing is high risk, high reward. I mean, if you're swinging for the home runs all the time, you can't cry when you strike out, because otherwise you'll never be in business, because the average VC is swinging for the fences, swinging for the home runs, and they expect that, hey, only 1 out of 10 will pan out. So having that same mindset, hey, I know this is what comes with the territory. So for me, looking at that, going back to your question, if I had $5,000, I would personally only just look at the Token Metrics top 10 index and say, okay, I'm going to diversify my portfolio. Let's say I put $500 into each of the top 10, set and forget it, pick a particular time to rebalance my portfolio, maybe every month, every 3 months, put that on my calendar as a repeating event. Don't look at it, come back whenever that repeating event happens, every month, every 3 months, see what has changed. If 10% allocation across all those 10 cryptocurrencies has shifted and one of them has a larger allocation, I would sell that, take profits of that, then use that to buy the dip on like a currency that has gone lower or on a new currency that has gone into the top 10. If a currency has gone out of the entire top 10, I would sell that completely, cut my losses, or if it's profits, take all the profits and reinvest that into whatever is new in the top 10. So this is really just modern portfolio theory. So I would follow modern portfolio theory. I wouldn't put more than 10% into any cryptocurrency in my portfolio, unless it's something like Bitcoin or maybe Ethereum. But for me, I'll just do an even 10% split across 10 cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and on the top 10, and call it a day. So that's the strategy I would follow. I've talked about this a lot, but that's really what I think is the best way forward, right? So once again, Token Metrics top 10, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Cosmos, Binance. Okay, now it's shifting. So because this is let me refresh this. Because it's in real time, I definitely don't recommend rebalancing your portfolio daily. Otherwise, you pull your hair out going crazy. So you just want to see what is here and then pick a set date to rebalance. So every month, every 3 months, something like that will keep you sane. Otherwise, if you're busy trying to rebalance every single day, you lose a lot more money on trading fees. So, right, Eternity is now back in the top 10 because something has changed with the technical analysis, or the other projects will have kind of shifted. So anyway, that's kind of my take on that. So hopefully that is helpful. Where's Ugo and Diego? So Ugo is in Dallas with his family. He's down there. Ugo, he's still trading. Diego's in Jersey. So for those who are asking, Ugo and Diego are partners for 100x. They are equity investors and advisors to Token Metrics, so they're helping with that. 100x is now, for the most part, we haven't really done many investments. We did an equity investment in last year in 2019 in Alchemy Network and invested in 1101 protocol. But other than that, we've just kind of been just doing some advisory for MetaHash and 1101. And things just kind of been quiet. My main focus has just been Token Metrics right now. Man, it's going to be a long day. What about KuCoin dead IEOs? KuCoin IEOs haven't done well. That's why they stopped doing IEOs. I think what all these exchanges need is Token Metrics. So actually, speaking of Token Metrics, we are in the process of launching what we call the Token Metrics Alliance. So we'll be aligning with some of the most well-known, reputable cryptocurrency funds, exchanges, incubators, investors, and other service providers in the space to build an alliance to push crypto investing research forward. So this is something we think is needed to really bring positive sentiment back into the space. This will be an alliance of companies that will all work together to collaborate on crypto investment research to find promising blockchain startups early on. So trying to find the next 100x investments, and think of this as a group or an alliance for companies, funds, exchanges, and others to collaborate and vet projects. So to find more promising blockchain projects and to filter out the scams together collectively. So we've not officially launched or announced this yet. So stay tuned. We expect to announce some of the early alliance members. There'll be some companies you guys may know. If you do work with a big, well-known company that wants to be part of this alliance, contact us at info@tokenmetrics.com. That's info@tokenmetrics.com. Send us an email telling us why you'd like to be part of the alliance. But I think this could be a big move for the space. So stay tuned on that announcement. Okay, next question. Same with your Daytona. I bought a brand new flashy car, but I didn't get it out of my system, kept trading, losing money, and ended up wasting 2 years. Any advice for me? You didn't get it out of your system? Oh man, I mean, that can be very challenging. And I think at the end of the day, reality and life are the best teachers. And we just have to learn from our mistakes. I mean, even me myself, I'm definitely not perfect. I mean, my biggest weakness is I spend a lot of money, not on stupid things, but on business, right? So I'm good at making money, but I'm not so good at managing finances. So I think I was watching a video from Ray Dalio, very, very good video, actually. I shared this in the Token Metrics professional group. But actually, let me see if I can find this video. It was called Ray Dalio. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let me pull this up. But he was saying that you have to know who you are as a person, and you have to be honest with yourself as a person. So I think honesty, and Gary Vee has a term for this. He says, I forget what term he says, but you have to be able to really know your strength and your weaknesses. And for me, my strength is I'm good at making money. My weakness is I'm a creative person. I'm a free-flowing person. I don't really like to plan so many things out. I like to go with the flow. Like these live streams, for the most part, the only planning we do is like 15 minutes before we go live. And sometimes I just go live. But not everybody works like that. So for example, Paresh on our team, he's the opposite. He doesn't like doing stuff free-flowing, impromptu. He likes to plan everything out meticulously, right? So having people that balance you out. So with me, for example, when it comes to, I'm good at making money, but when it comes to managing and budgeting and planning things out, my brain isn't really wired for that. So I think that's why we have roles like chief financial officer in a company, because the person who likes to delve into the accounting and the budgeting is the kind of person who becomes an accountant. But they're really rigid, and they're able to abide by a particular system. But that same person isn't really as creative and isn't really as innovative. So you don't really see those people becoming like the creative entrepreneur, right? So with me, I'm kind of like an Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. I'm very creative. I always have big ideas, big visions. But when it comes to like, okay, let's balance the books, let's do this, let's plan for the next 5 years, 10 years. I have to balance that out with other people, like an accountant, a CPA, a CFO. So that's kind of something that I'm working on. So I would say learn from your lessons in life and your mistakes, but try to find other people who are the opposite and have that strength, that's your weakness, and have them balance you out. So that's really what I can say. Let me see if I can find that video I was talking about. Yeah, so just go into YouTube and search for life lessons from the biggest hedge fund in the world by Raymond Dalio. It's an interview with him. It's over an hour-long interview, but lots of great content in there, lots of great life lessons in there. So I definitely recommend you watch that interview. All right, so hopefully that helps. Next question. Okay, this is actually a good question. Hi, Ian. Thanks for all the hard work. Wondering if and how do you track the performance of the top 10 token metrics picks and compare it to the rest of the market, as in to show its value? Yes, so this is something we're working on. So that's why we've created the token metrics, what we call the Moon Index. And one of the goals we have is, as you can see here, this one, is we plan to create an index and then track this. So we'll be working with a financial planner and a financial analyst and investment advisor who's worked with some well-known banks to help us create this. So this is something we do plan to create. That's kind of why we're going towards this route, to really show people, hey, this is really possibly making money or it's losing money, to show people the performance. But we have to make sure everything is kind of done in a structured manner. So it will take some time, but it is something we do have in the plans. And I think that will be one of the big value adds. And then hopefully pending approval from the SEC and regulators, whenever we create a robo-advisor, people can then just invest in that. So I think this is really a big win, but it is going to take some time. So bear with us, lots of red tape and paperwork, but we think this is really something that can bring lots of value to Token Metrics customers. Ian, teach them that African culture. You really understand it. Proud of you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Crypto family. Thank you guys for all the support. Hey, Ian, what's your view on the world crisis? The Fed printed 2.5 trillion within months and stocks at an all-time high. And what's your backup plan? CMT? So good question. I mean, the equities markets have been on a tear. Bull market like no other. But one thing we have to learn is looking what it's kind of like what happened with crypto. Bitcoin was at 20,000. People thought it will keep on going. No, man, like it ended up coming back down. So with equities market, I mean, it's very tough to say, because on one hand, being rational, you would say these markets cannot keep on going up forever and ever. They're going to have to come back down and come back down to earth. But as you said, the Federal Reserve Bank is printing more and more money, and that money gets pumped into the economy and gets pumped into the banks and into the stock market and keeps propping it up and up and up. Ray Dalio has talked about this himself. But I think the things we should be concerned about are, if they keep on printing money, that will devalue the US dollar. But it seems like that's their playbook. Just keep on printing money, using that money to prop up the markets. So the markets may keep on going up and up and up, but eventually the house of cards has to fall and crash. So, because if they keep on printing money, they'll keep on devaluing the money, and eventually it will become worth less and less and less. And really, that's the value prop of crypto, but also other assets. So I would say diversify, be diverse in terms of where you're putting your money, knowing that this house of cards could come crumbling down any minute, whenever you least expect it, whether this year, next year, 5 years from now, hey, it could be even 10 years from now. But it's always healthy to diversify yourself from currency risk, also from political risk and all other kinds of risks, but currency risk is something to keep an eye out on. So I would say be very, very cautious. I mean, the world crisis, as we said in the video, we think this could really, I mean, this is going to change the world. Similar to what happened with the UK and Europe in World War II. America became a superpower when we had the Cold War. Oh, speaking of the Cold War, man, I've been watching The Americans on Amazon Prime. That show from FX, love that show. I've been binge watching that. I'm on the 6th season right now. I've learned a lot about espionage and the Cold War between Russia and America. Very good show. Highly recommend that. And that is TV show advice. But anyway, back to the question. I think it's eventually going to crash, and we have to be very ready. Not sure when, but the dollar could tumble. China is working very strong on becoming the world's global currency. They're launching their own digital cryptocurrency. So definitely keep an eye on that. Lots of central banks are also panicking and seeing what's happening with China and with stablecoins like the Libra from Facebook. So I would say this: diversify. Keep an eye out on stablecoins. Stablecoins are really something we should all keep an eye on. Maker and DAO is definitely on the watch list. They're highly rated by Token Metrics. Keep an eye out on what Facebook is doing, but be ready for the dollar to crumble. So plan for the worst. Not saying it's going to happen now or next year or 5 years from now. Nobody knows, but be ready for the worst. Diversify so that if the worst does happen, if the black swan event does happen, your entire wealth is not at risk. Protect yourself before you wreck yourself. I should copyright that. But what's my backup plan? I mean, so here's the thing. In my world, because I swing for the fences and the home run, I know it's feast or famine. So there's some days where we're feasting like kings. We're on the moon and beyond. But then there's some days where it's a famine, it's a drought, we're starving. So being able to balance between those two, and that might be tough for people to understand, but Elon Musk talked about this, right? He said when he sold PayPal, he was rich. He was rich beyond his wildest dreams. He was a millionaire. But actually, let me see if I can find this quote here. PayPal, Elon Musk broke. Now he talked out. Sorry, let me just find this quote. Yes, so here's the quote. Found this on Pinterest. Let me just quickly share this on the screen. I think that this will kind of give you an idea of how all-in entrepreneurs think. Right, so if I can get this here, let me just open in a new tab. Right, so this is really the quote. So he says, my proceeds from PayPal were $180 million. I put 100 million into SpaceX, 70 million into Tesla, and 10 million into Solar City. I had to borrow money for rent. Just think about that for a second. This guy made $180 million. He could have just gone on a honeymoon, PayPal retirement, gone on a beach, kumbaya for the rest of his life. No, he turns around immediately, reinvests all that money into 3 new companies he's working on, 3 new home runs, to a point he had to borrow money to pay rent. And I mean, really, that's been my mindset. Sometimes it's tough to run away from it, but as an entrepreneur, that's really the mindset we have. We're always swinging for the fences, trying to build something valuable. So, but that's not healthy for everyone. So I definitely would not advise against this. Very few people can live like this, feast or famine, where you flip overnight. So back to this, I would say diversify into other assets and other things. Don't feast or famine. But for me, I mean, it's one of those things where you don't do what I do, because not everybody has the lifestyle set up like I do. Like for me, like right now, I'm doing this live stream in my parents' home. Like, and that can shock some people, even though most people kind of know that. Because to me, it made no sense buying a house. I gave up my car, my house. I did have a house here in Maryland, but I gave it all up, moved out, put everything into my parents' home, gave up my nice Mercedes. Man, I was driving a nice flashy red Mercedes, all red. I was nice flashy car, nice 4-bedroom house. even though I have no kids, no family, I gave that all up to have more money to invest in crypto and go all in. Ended up working out pretty well. But guess what? Crypto came tumbling down. Now we have to reassess and do different things. Now I took all the money I have, putting that into token metrics and other ventures. But it's really about keeping your expenses low. So for me, I went down to Miami, went down there for 3 months or so. I was looking at buying a nice penthouse in Miami, trying to live that Miami Vice life, trying to even maybe get a nice Ferrari, all that. But I was like, what for? I don't really need that right now. I'd rather put that into a new venture, into a new business. So that's what I did. But it is feast or famine. But for me, I know that when it's a famine, it's not really the end of the world. Because worst case, I just live longer with my family. I mean, because that's not really the end of the world for me. So like if I go straight to zero, if all of crypto crashes, if all of equity markets crash and the dollar crashes, okay, then we have a big problem. But at the end of the day, you also have to realize it's not always about money. Yes, it is, but at the same time, it's not. As long as you have nice safety nets. So this is different for everybody, especially those who maybe are on their own, don't have any family or anybody they can kind of work together with. But look at your safety nets and see how strong they are, and see, okay, if everything crashes, what's the worst that could happen? And I think once you really realize that, and if you see how strong your safety nets are, then you can realize how big of a risk you can take. Like for me, that's what I did, right? Because the reason I could take so many big risks was I gave up my house. My rent was like $26.50 a month, so I was saving that money. I had a nice Mercedes. It was the lease. The lease on that was like $530 a month, something like that. Gave that up, so I'm already saving $3,000 a month. This was even before I quit my job at IBM. Then I moved all my stuff into my parents' house, lived there saving money. That's when I began doing the live streams. I was doing those live streams in my parents' house the entire time. Even though I had at that time like I had like about 6 figures, maybe less in crypto, but I was making over 6 figures at IBM. But I humbled myself, lived with my parents. Then I quit my job in September 2017 when my crypto portfolio was only worth $250,000, $250,000. But I still didn't go out and get a house. No, because my goal was to always travel the world. So that's why I began doing the Crypto World Tour. But because I didn't really have many things holding me down, I didn't have a house, a car holding me down, I was mobile. So it allowed me to travel the world. And in 2018, we did 35 countries in 12 months. I mean, which is something that I will always look back and say, wow. I mean, even when I'm 80 years old and an old man in a retirement home, I'll be like, man, Crypto World Tour, that was lit. So that's really, I mean, because to me, it was about building those experiences and memories and being mobile. So even when I was a millionaire, I still didn't really get a house because I did look into it, but every time it came down to putting it on paper, like signing a lease or even buying a house, I was like, man, I'm gonna be locked down for a while. And I like being a digital nomad because I'm mobile, I'm free. I can get up and go wherever I want. Like if I wanted to go to LA, to Hong Kong, Singapore, I can do it. And I could live there for a month if I wanted to, just get an Airbnb or something like that. So the world has changed. More millennials are going this route, especially those who get financial independence or those who make their money online remotely. Like I know so many people in Bali, Indonesia, who go there, or Bangkok, Thailand, because they're earning in dollars and they're earning in Thai baht, or what's the currency in Indonesia? I think rupee. that's one other thing. They basically have currency arbitrage. They're earning in dollars and but spending their money in Thai baht, which is a lot cheaper. So the cost of living is very low, but they're earning American dollars. So anyway, long story short, there's so many ways to go, but plan for the worst. Look at your safety nets. So my safety net is if everything goes to zero, I don't have many things holding me down. I don't have a house, don't have a car. I can go live with my parents to make ends meet if I have to. I don't have any kids, any family like that, which is one of the reasons why I've kind of delayed that, because I mean, there's so many things I've been doing traveling wise. Imagine trying to do everything I'm doing and have kids and family. I couldn't really take those big home runs because now you have kids to provide for. So that's why people, if you have a family, that's different. You can't really take those big risks like somebody who's single can. So that's why I think look at your safety nets, right? So for example, if you're married and with kids, understand that you probably cannot take as big of home runs as somebody who's single can. And that's why I took most of my home runs in my 20s. But now I'm in my 30s. Now I'm 31. I realize that, okay, now I have to take a lot less risks because now I'm getting older. Now I kind of have to plan for all things like maybe getting a family in the future, or my mom and dad are getting older, being able to provide for them, retirement for them, things like that. So yeah, I mean, 20s, if you're young and you have a nice safety net, that's when you can really swing for the fences. But as you get older, you're more conservative and you take less risks. Wisely so, because you can't really be so foolish in a way. But I say foolish in a positive way, not really to make anybody who's young feel bad, because I mean, I've been there as well. But hey, I mean, that's basically that. Let's go to the next question. Let's take a look here. How much has your audience shrunk since late 2017? Oh man, I would say by a lot. I would say, because YouTube is still over 100,000, but people aren't active on YouTube, right? Or rather, the people who came in, because people came in when crypto was popular, ICOs were popular, got in when it was hot and fizzled out. They got out. They're still subscribed, but they don't really watch. And also YouTube's algorithm isn't really recommending to subscribers as much. It's now recommending based on what you've watched recently on the watch page, based on their machine learning algorithm. AI is the future. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely shrunk a lot. Telegram group went down from like 34,000 at the peak to like 12,000. I mean, so people lost money. I mean, I definitely feel their pain, their hurt. So now it's really just a matter of taking those lessons from that and seeing, okay, when the next bull run comes and those same people come back looking to buy the top, how do we better protect them, right? How do we help and make sure they don't lose money? And one of the ways is by giving them better research and also technical analysis with that research, so they know and have a better understanding of, hey, this is up right now a lot. Don't touch it. Don't film a buy. And then eventually, I think really the robo-advisor is the way forward, because those people coming in to buy the top should not be buying at all. They should just let the AI handle it and do it for them, because it's going to save them money and protect them from losing money. So that's really what I can say. But for me, I mean, things might not be so popular, but hey, we've been here since day one. If you're here since day one. That means you don't go wherever the wind blows. You're very independent, right? You're a believer. You aren't just in this looking to make a quick buck, a quick flip. Okay, going on to the next question. What do you think about decentralized storage? Is there a need for it in the market for these storage platforms, for dApps to store data centrally or decentralized? I mean, so I am an investor in Filecoin. I was part of their their private sale or ICO on CoinList all the way back in 2017. They still haven't launched, man. But overall, decentralized storage hasn't really done well. So if we go to tokenmetrics.com, Bluezell, do we have Bluezell? Okay, we don't have Bluezell in here. SIA we do have. Technology is decent. Fundamentals could be better. I would say for decentralized storage, Filecoin and IPFS is really the big one out there. It's the one with the largest adoption so far across the developer community. Will dApps use it? Who knows? It's kind of hard to tell. But Filecoin or IPFS has the most adoption thus far. So that's the one I would keep an eye on for now. Okay, are the VCs reaccumulating 100x coins like ICON, ICX from exchanges? It's hard to say, but actually one thing I can say though is I know that I believe the largest node holder for ICON is Pantera Capital, which is a Silicon Valley venture capital fund. So I think, yeah, I think that's public knowledge. If not, then I might have broken news. But yeah, I believe they're the largest holder, and they're part of their ICO, I believe, as well, and have been holding since then. So VCs are accumulating, but I think most VCs now are kind of more investing in equity over anything else. Okay, is this the last question? All right, that's the last question, guys. Thank you guys so much. Man, that's been a long live stream. Long live stream. Let's see here in the comments. Want to see Belina Senior? Senior? Belina Senior, thank you. Thank you for being honest. The way you talk to us is very inspiring. Thank you, Jayton. Crypto Boom, yes, Aramis. I want in the Alliance. Yeah, Maximilian, if you have a well-known company, just contact us. info@tokenmetrics.com. Emma, hey Emma, thanks for appreciate it. Okay, we have a troll here on Twitter. Okay, what he's talking about, and didn't just get lucky. I mean, well, I don't think it was just luck, guys, because luck is something that happens once, but we've had a lot more than one profitable investment. And we've had several profitable investments. I mean, several investments that we've had 3 investments do 80x, 2 do 100x, YB and Icon. Polylegit did 30x. So just because the market is down and it lost money doesn't mean that we aren't making money. I mean, because guys, don't forget. I mean, tell this to any troll or hater who talks smack. Matic Network was one of the best performing projects last year. The best performing Binance IEO. We discovered Matic Network 1 year before their IEO, or rather 8 months, almost 1 year before the IEO, in Hyderabad, India, before anybody knew about it. I mean, so to say that it's just luck, you don't get lucky like that. You don't just wander to India and randomly bump into Matic Network, which ends up being the best performing IEO. We also discovered Harmony. I went to their barbecue in San Francisco, had burgers with them in their backyard almost a year before their IEO. They're one of the better performing Binance IEOs. Elrond, our crypto family hosts in Bucharest, Romania, told us about Elrond. I had a call with their CEO a year before their IEO, before it was even popular. I mean, so to say that all this is luck just means that you don't really know what you're talking about. I mean, I just had a call with crypto exchanges, big crypto exchanges, because we're talking to them about having them as part of our Token Metrics Alliance. And you know what they told me? They said, hey, Ian, we were using your spreadsheet for research. Okay, I mean, so these exchanges that you guys rely on for IEOs are telling you that they were depending on our research to pick which IEOs to list. I mean, just think about it. Do you think it's a coincidence that the first IEOs these exchanges listed last year in 2018, or rather in 2019, first Binance IEOs, Matic Network, Harmony, Elrond, even KuCoin. What did they list? Multivac, Chromia. I mean, all these were projects highly rated on our spreadsheet. I mean, why do you think KuCoin wanted to work with me? And then this other exchange, which isn't KuCoin, but some other well-known exchange, they told me the guy who's responsible for their investing and IEOs and listing was like, I used to look at your spreadsheet. All right. I mean, so I'm not even trying to like brag or anything like that. I'm just trying to answer this troll's comment. You don't really know what you're talking about. Yes, we're not perfect. Yes, we make mistakes, but we definitely know what we're talking about. Okay. And when we say, hey, this is what we think is going to do well, there's a reason why exchanges listen to us. Okay. Because our track record is good. Yes, it's not 100%, but nobody is. Any investor who claims that is just lying. We're not perfect, but we do have lots and lots of wins. I mean, our record speaks for itself. All right. Okay. All right. So one last thing, just kind of quick quick public service announcements. So once again, if you want to join tokenmetrics.com, sorry, let me go to the home site. So just go to our homepage here, sign up today for a free trial, 14-day free trial. After the free trial, we also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you basically have 44 days. So you can't lose, in my opinion, right? And everything is secure via credit card and Stripe. I want to just kind of play this video for you guys again, because I mean, I think this does a good job in evangelizing and telling everybody what we're trying to build. So let's just kind of pause for this video before we wrap up the show.
Since the creation of the internet, every industry has been turned upside down. Amazon changed retail. Uber changed transportation. YouTube changed video forever. With the invention of crypto, money is next. At the speed technology is growing, the future of money and securities are digital.
All right, apologies.
Connection 9 out of 10 millennials.
That's my probably my VPN. So this video actually is in 4K. All right, so maybe the 4K and the VPN connection don't really like.
Do not trust banks. The value of money relies on trust. Government debt is higher than it's ever been before. Central banks continue to print money. Fortunately, the world has a new solution. Experts predict in 7 years, 10% of the world's economy will be in crypto-based assets. Today, 1 billion people have access to the financial industry. Crypto is about empowering the other 6 billion people by banking the unbanked. Do not underestimate this. Do you wish you invested in Google, Amazon, or Netflix before anyone ever knew about them? $1,000 invested in Netflix turned to over $500,000. At Token Metrics, we help you find the next Netflix. Token Metrics users think differently about investing. They are early adopters looking for financial freedom. They are people who see a better world, a world without international borders. We believe in a world where everyone has access to the next financial revolution. At Token Metrics, we are creating a bridge that gets you to that revolution. We will help you make sound investments in this new world. The world's best investors do not rely on their intuition. They embrace technology and AI to invest. Token Metrics uses AI to find invisible patterns in data to help you invest and trade in crypto. In the past, we have used our data-driven system to achieve financial freedom. Now, we are giving you the keys. We created Token Metrics to be the only platform you'll ever need to make money in crypto. We give you AI and access to crypto experts at the best price. The moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond.
All right. Oh, man.
Disclaimer. Token Metrics Media LLC does not provide.
All right. And the usual disclaimer. All right. So let me know what you guys think about the video. But if you're pumped, if you're hyped, obviously with caution, definitely recommend you sign up now. Just click here, free trial, 14 days. Also use the coupon code CryptoFamily, one word, all caps, to get 10% off. And then definitely make sure you join the affiliate program. Just go to partners.tokenmetrics.com or inside the site, just click here and go to affiliate program. And we're once again, we're giving away 20% lifetime recurring commissions. So anybody you refer, whatever they spend on Token Metrics on the monthly or annual subscription, you get 20% of that for the rest of that person's life as a customer. Very, very profitable. We think this is going to be one of the best affiliate programs out there. We've already had over 100 people have joined in the first 3 days. Over 100 people have joined the affiliate program in the first 3 days. So we think this is going to be very, very good. Could be a great extra source of income, great way to diversify your crypto, right? Because maybe you're investing and spending money in crypto, but you want to make some extra income. As mentioned, the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. One of those could be affiliate income. And we think this is really a great way because you're helping your friends when they join to do more research and have better access with information. So from fundamental analysis to technology and code reviews to technical analysis, we have the portfolio, we have the Token Metrics index with a top 10 rank. We have the private newsletters that we're sending out. If they join the professional group, we have the biweekly calls. We have the private group chat in there. But yeah, I mean, we think this is really a great program. Be sure to join. Also, Token Metrics Alliance. If you work with a well-known, reputable crypto fund, exchange, if you're a well-known investor or even a service provider, and you have an interest in being part of the Alliance, definitely be sure to email us, info@tokenmetrics.com to join. With that being said, guys,
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
thank you. It's been a great show. Our longest show in a while, over 3 hours long, just like the good old days. Hopefully I see you guys soon on tokenmetrics.com. And you get our next email coming up this week. Bill has been working on a good email telling you about the upcoming bull trend in crypto and why it's happening, why we think it's happening. Only to customers. Be sure to subscribe and respond back to us on the email when you get the email. With that being said, the moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond. I'll see you next time.